Welcome back, Screamers, to another episode of Scream Kings. I'm Tamon Kane here with some of my favorite kings in the entire world. And tonight, we are here to talk about Final Destination Bloodlines. So you already know this conversation is going to get messy just like this movie. So we're going to just kick this night off something special. Again, I'm Tamon Kane. You can find me everywhere under that name, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. And I am here starting with my, stage right. Joey, tell them who you are and where they can find you, please.
What's going on, everybody? My name's Joseph Katembo, aka Joey the Goat. You can find me on Instagram at Joey the Goat.
All right. I am Steph, aka The Unknown Celeb, and you can find me on Instagram and TikTok at those names, The THEE Unknown Celeb.
Go for it. Wonderful, Michael.
This is Mike. You can find me at Zachary Banks 86 on everything. What's up?
Hey. Sydney. Hi, Sydney.
Hey, this is Mark. Y'all can find me on Marco Estes on Instagram, Midnight Social Distortion also on Instagram, and also on Threads. And if you have to find me on Twitter, at the Anti-Critic, because I'm rarely on there.
Okay.
Hola, it's JoJo, and you can find me on Instagram and Twitter X at I am JoJo Cortez.
And last but not least, Brother Jimmy.
What's up, you guys? This is Jimmy, and you can find me at Photo Jimmy, pretty much everywhere. So, yeah.
Wonderful. And as you know, when the Kings come together, we like to sip and have a little good time. And we are drinking tonight. When you hear the word death, pick up your cocktail or mocktail or bong, whatever you got going. Thank you, Steve. Or whatever you got going on. You hear the clacks? I guess, yeah. Whatever you got going on, take a sip with us. So, fellas, death. Cheers.
Cheers.
Nostrovia. Oh, wrong movie. Sorry.
All right. We like to kick things off again with what's going on in the world. So the segment today is what we are screaming about in horror.
I mean, y'all was gonna give me a warning, like.
No, not at all.
Thank you.
JoJo, you lean forward. You got something you screaming about?
I actually don't this week. Like I'm trying to keep away from news for upcoming horror stuff. You know, I'm trying my best not to look into it too much.
That's a good idea.
I guess, yeah, I really don't have anything. Like nothing's popping to me right now. Nothing's popping off. I don't think everything's been either quiet, like hush hush, or nothing. So
or things you're staying away from.
Yeah, and there's certain things I'm staying away from.
What you tell us those are?
I'm staying away from anything Scream related. I'm staying away from anything I Know What You Did Last Summer related.
Thank you, JoJo.
Right now, those are the first two things. But I mean, and that Bring Her Back movie, because that's about to come out. So stuff like that, you know. I've just been kind of quiet, not looking at too much stuff. You know what though? I will say I am excited for. I'm sure someone else might bring this up, but you guys can talk about it if you do. I'm just gonna say I am looking forward to that Welcome to Derry, the It prequel.
Yes. The trailer
on HBO, HBO Max, HBO Go, HBO Now, whichever one you got. I'm excited for that. I don't know much about it, and that's also something I'm going to keep away from until I just want to watch it, you know. So I'm happy that Bill Skarsgård's back.
Yeah,
and yeah. So if you're going to talk about that, talk about it. But I don't know anything. But
I didn't go up for the trailer though. I know other people really liked it. They didn't do that.
I'm glad they didn't put stuff in there for me to know what's going to happen. So I'm glad
it was all tone, which is good, which is smart. I agree, but yeah,
I don't think it showed too much.
Nah. Michael.
I'll go. I'll just be quick. I am screaming about we have a new Slayer in our midst coming for Buffy the Vampire Slayer, the reboot.
Oh yeah, the fire
Took
starter.
mine.
Yeah, it's the fire starter. And I am screaming about Kimberly being the only final girl of the franchise of Final Destination.
Clock that.
Calm down.
We're gonna talk about that. We're gonna talk about that.
She's no Wendy, but okay. But anyway,
Shit.
Mark, what you got for us?
They're gonna Helen Shivers Wendy, I swear.
Maybe no, we're not. She doesn't
Stop.
Relax.
Since everybody took mine, I'm gonna just pull up this book I found at Barnes and Noble today. Y'all probably can't see it. It's called American Scary.
Ooh.
I like the cover.
A history of horror from Salem to Stephen King and beyond. And this guy goes as far as it says, from the acclaimed author of American comics comes a sweeping, entertaining narrative that details the rise and enduring grip of horror on American culture, from the taut, terrifying stories of Edgar Allan Poe to the sharply chilling films of Jordan Peele. Now, I went to Barnes at 30. I went to Barnes and Noble looking for something else entirely and came across that, and that's what I came out of there with. That and the volume 2 of Bitterroot. But as far horror wise, I'm like JoJo. I'm just staying away from a lot of stuff. And like Mike, I was excited about the Slayer announcement and the fact that I'm knowing that Sarah Michelle Gellar and Allison Hannigan are doing press for calls, but it's just real good to see them two together again. And I did hear that one of their kids auditioned for a part in the new show.
No Nicholas Brandon, no Xander.
Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it.
Mm-hmm.
Poor guy.
I'm sure him and Don will be handled accordingly.
Move on.
I don't know.
No, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about that's two different things. If they don't bring back Xander, I'll be fine. If they have to recast Dawn, they have to have a storyline attached to it. That's all I got to say about it. I'm sorry.
Put them in a van together, and then we'll do what we need to.
Put them in a van.
It sounds like the van's backing up.
Death. Is anybody else screaming about anything?
Yes. So I screamed the first time that we went to the movies, the last movie we saw, Taman and Mike, and I screamed the second time, but you weren't there. That's okay because you were driving. We wanted you to be safe. Glad you made it.
Thank you.
But Weapons, I believe it comes out towards the end of the year. It just is giving. Mike, if you can, I'm gonna have a horrible memory, but what's that movie I was telling you I saw as a kid? It's a Stephen King, based on a Stephen King book.
Storm of the Century.
Village of
it's just these kids in the town, and it was the one where the kids were like being possessed, and there was like it looks like there was a staff or a cane with like a Doberman head, and they would like touch it and they would fall out or something. And I watched it a long time ago, and I need to rewatch it just to. Yeah,
it wasn't Village of the Damned. I don't think it
I was thinking Village of the Damned.
Was it Village of the Damned?
That's not King. That's not King.
It's not.
I
thought it was.
No, Village of the Damned is not King. I was saying that Storm of the Century is.
Okay,
I don't want to spoil it, but there's a part where all the kids are flying up in the clouds and shit because they touched the staff.
Yes.
Go watch Storm of the Century, by the way, and Needful Things. I'm gonna recommend those.
Needful Things.
Yes. But Weapons, it looks like something with kids and the adults in the town and trying to, figure out what's going on, and maybe there's one person who is getting the blame, and she's maybe trying to solve it herself. But they give you just enough, and the trailer was great.
Mm-hmm. I'm excited for that one too.
Same.
Car, welcome.
Hey, Car.
What's up, Car?
Can't hear you. Can't hear you.
Muted.
You on mute, bro?
You're muted, Ghostface.
I can't hear you, brother.
Thank you about that.
There you go.
I was just saying thank you all for having me. Hope everybody's having a great evening. Sorry for the late arrival. Hope everybody's doing good.
We are, Deacon. We're doing good.
That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about.
You screaming about anything in horror?
Actually, yeah. I just recently, I think earlier this week, I was reading this. I actually bought this book by Tananarive Due. I bought it I bought it like last December, and it showed up on people's if you like Sinners book list or whatever. So I'm like, oh, I got this in my bookshelf. Let me like finally tap into it. So I read it. It's called My Soul to Keep. It's a good book. Tananarive Due, she wrote her ass off. This is my first time reading her, and I think this is either her first or second novel. But I believe, regardless, I know this is the first in the series. There's like a sequel to it and everything like that. There's installments to it. So I had a good time with the book. I do one of those things where it takes me like 2 months to read 15 pages, and then after that, I'm reading like 80 pages in 2 days after that. You know, once it gets going.
Yep.
The book was cool. It's like the book was written in 97, so I'm trying to a couple things. One, I'm trying to remove my 2025 brain away from it, and also trying to give it leeway in the sense that, like, you know what, I believe that this is how a lot of thriller romances are written, where the woman is making a lot of frustrating decisions and choices in the name of loving her man, and I'm sitting there like, like it was painful to get through, but I mean, I had a good time with that book. I'm like, the whole way I'm reading it, I'm overthinking like, well, how can I adapt this? How can I I would definitely change a couple things, but nah, like it's written so well. It's definitely a mystery. I'll give a brief synopsis of it. I don't want to spoil too much, but essentially, there's this woman, Jessica. She's a journalist, and she's solving these series of murders that are happening around her that tied to this immortal that happens to fall in love with her and stuff. So that's all I can say without giving away too much. But it's pretty dope. Like I said, it's called My Soul to Keep.
Okay, the audiobook has been added.
Yeah, I read it in college. Blair Underwood has the rights to that damn book.
Yeah, I read that.
Wow.
He got the rights to it, I think, in 2006 or something.
They did like a test trailer for it.
Really?
Yeah, but I'm like, just let Tananarive Due get them rights back and let somebody else get it, because he's been sitting on them rights for some decades, and I'm just like, let this come in. So.
Did the rights haven't reverted from him yet or nothing? He still got it. He must. So you read the book. You know who he want to play. You know who he want to play.
Okay, I added it to my list as well. Thank you. I actually thought you were talking about My Soul to Take by Wes Craven. I was like,
I think that's the fourth book. I think that's the fourth book in the series. It's actually called My Soul to Take.
Yeah, I think that's like the third or fourth one. Yeah, I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't know if I want to go to the next book, only because I'm like, if I gotta put up with David again, I don't know. If I gotta put up with him again, I don't know. But other than that, I had a good time with the book, so I think you all would enjoy it, though. I think it'd be a good read.
okay. Anybody else screaming about anything? Joey, Jimmy, Mark, Steph. Oh yeah, everybody else went.
I'm not actually screaming about anything. Nothing.
Okay.
I'm trying to stay away from Scream theories.
It's hard.
I saw.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
I know.
So hard.
I recently saw the trailer to the new Conjuring movie. That looks really good, so I'm excited about that. I'm also excited about the It prequel series. That looks really good. I know it's not horror, but I'm a big comic buff, so I'm really just in focus on the Doomsday theories and seeing what they're going to do with that, but nothing else.
Yes, for Superman, right?
No. Avengers.
You said Doomsday?
Yeah.
I mean, but that new Superman photo that dropped is fire, though.
Dr. Doom. I thought you might
no.
Doomsday.
The
Okay.
Superman trailer looks good. I have mixed feelings about it with their approach with Superman. So
I'm just
I
tired
don't
of his story, so that's that.
Yeah, yeah. There's so many other superheroes who I wish would get attention, but they don't. I'm like,
We get Mr.
You're
Terrific.
tired of the story. Oh, that's
Shut
interesting.
We get Mr.
fucking
Terrific in there. At least
mouth, dude.
that's somebody who ain't get their shine besides the CW show.
Speaking,
Mr.
What? Oh,
Terrific, Static Shock,
yeah,
The Question.
Oh, I would love the question.
I wish there would be
Zantana.
Zatanna.
Yeah, but that's what I want to see too. Something different.
Yeah.
since we're on the subject of superheroes, I do want to add this in because we're all people of color here. Y'all, the vitriol behind Ironheart has been very nasty, and I'm screaming about that myself internally. So I just want to say, anybody that's watching this, June 24th, let's turn up and show out because the incels are not okay. And
Yeah, it's nasty.
They're
gotta shut
never
them down.
okay.
Never.
How many trailers y'all seen?
It's only been
This
What you mean, how
one.
many trailers? There's only one.
Exactly.
The one
There's
from
ignorant, and
the
then
one
there's
from last
ignorant.
year, and then this new one.
Technically, there are two trailers because that's what
Yeah,
Wakanda Forever
technically.
was.
Right.
That might have been a
Yeah.
trailer for Riri.
It was her backdoor pilot.
Yeah.
But I just feel that despite the lack of promotion on Marvel's part,
Mhm.
I still feel that we still should show up and show out because they have really, it's like they have some type of cabal on Facebook groups or something like that, where they intentionally go anytime Marvel says something about Ironheart, anybody who is a person of color or anything like that, they make sure to go and just flood it with like laugh emojis and all this shit. And it's just bad. So y'all, let's just show out. Let's show up and show out for Ironheart, so.
For sure.
Well said.
Yeah.
Well said and will do.
Because Agatha's marketing budget was sickening, so I don't understand it, but whatever. Yeah.
Went through 5 different changes, 5 through name changes.
I'd like to say they were waiting to get closer. Like now we're just over a month away, but I want to see more in the next couple of weeks. I mean, we can only hope, but I have very low hopes.
They're low-key burying the show because they're doing that thing. I don't know if y'all notice when shows come out these days. I can tell when the show is on its way out the door because they do that thing where they want to release 2-3 episodes at once. They're releasing 3 episodes of Ironheart, and it's only 6 episodes.
Oh, yeah.
They're releasing 3 episodes. It's a 3-episode premiere, dog.
Wow.
Yeah.
Come on, 3 weeks.
Wait, but does that mean? So, what do we know? What day they're going to be dropping those episodes? Because
Thursday.
3 weeks after. Oh no, but it starts in June. Okay, never mind. I thought they was trying to drop it on like Juneteenth or something.
You talking about nobody?
Because I believe the Eyes of Wakanda show comes out in August.
Yep, in August.
And then after that is Marvel Zombies, and then after that I forget what Marvel show comes on after that. So it's like they're just gonna knock them.
Cool.
I'm screaming about Prom Queen. Will be coming out this Friday.
Yeah.
We will be talking about it next week as well. But I'm excited for Prom Queen. It looks decent. The girls, I like seeing them behind the scenes, not filming, but like them in their normal lives or hanging out. That made me like the girls already. So I'm excited to see what they do.
We'll see how it goes.
Fingers crossed.
You think it's gonna be as good as Fear Street?
No.
I just want, as a Fear Street connoisseur, historian, I just want them to actually mention Fear Street and give me a backstory of how it became Fear Street. Out of 3 movies, that's the only complaint I had about. Well, one of 3 complaints I had about the trilogy was that they just glossed over the fact that all this shit happened because of this street. And that was my biggest complaint, reading all the books growing up and knowing how significant that was to the world of Fear Street. It just was kind of like, oversight or, but yeah, I'm excited for it. It's my birthday, so that'll be my birthday gift to myself. 13-year-old me is excited about that because when I was 13, I thought I would never see a Fear Street movie, and so now we have 4 of them. So I'm
It's
excited.
getting full circle.
Very much so.
Mark, as the historian of Fear Street, is there anything that you want them to stay true to the book, or are you open to them making their own liberties?
I'm open to them making their own liberties because you have to modernize the material. Because the thing about the Fear Street books was kind of like with the Goosebump books. The Goosebump books were kind of like gory, but they weren't gory. They were like slapstick gore, you know. But when R. Stein did Fear Street, there was a lot of blood, there was a lot of beheadings, there was a lot of all of that. But the characters would be acting like, "Oh no," like, you know, like, "Oh no, Sandy, no." It's like, you know, that clean. There was like the books that had no cuss words in them. They just, you know, instead of saying damn, they said darn or some shit like that.
Yeah.
I want the kids to be, you know, unique, not unique, but what's what I'm looking for? I want them to be real. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's one of the biggest things I liked about the trilogy was that these were teens that we were in the 90s and stuff like that, or young preteens and stuff like that. We were saying shit, you know, like that, you know, so it flowed better. It made it more realistic. And I just want them to elevate the books a little bit to, you know, sustain it for current audiences and still keep the time period in, you know, in check. So
what about plot points?
Child, I'll be honest with you. I read Prom Queen when I was probably in the 5th grade, and if I can recall correctly, I think it was first person narrative. So the fact they have like these multiple narratives, I'm okay with that. So, but I do know there was people knocking out Prom Queens. But the problem in the books was if somebody has a first person narrative, they would come up on the body. And they would never. There was only one scene in the Fear Street book where they actually had the character experiencing death.
Experiencing what?
Death.
Yeah.
I hope they change that. Because you know I'm gonna be mad if one person died.
They do.
Well, the book that I'm just gonna say this. We can move on. I'm just like it's a plot in the first Evil, the cheerleaders book with Tamer. I think you would like if you'd have read them. The first Evil, they did like a Nightmare on Elm Street type thing where when you first watch Nightmare on Elm Street without any knowledge, you think that the movie is going to be about Tina because we follow her and her friends and all this stuff, and then when she's off, it's like, oh shit, and then you switch the narrative over to Nancy. So in the first Evil, the book is led by one character into the midway in the book because she was piecing shit together, and the evil spirit took her out, and then it switched over to somebody else. And I felt like that's why I like that's the best Fear Street book that he ever written, because when you switch with narratives like that in a series like that, it keeps you on your toes. Because usually when you get a Fear Street book and you read it, you stay with that character from point A to point B. And for him to switch that up, I was like, yeah, this is what I'm looking for. You know what I'm saying? So, and her death was excruciating. It was excruciating. So I hope they do something like that.
Next. We need to trilogy next. They tried to give us a little bit of that in Fear Street, but
the trilogy, the trilogy, they played with us, but then I was that's one of the complaints they had about it. I said, y'all playing in my face, but go ahead.
Okay, well, we have screamed it out, and so we're gonna go take a quick commercial, and when we come back, we're gonna talk about some death. Final Destination.
See the town of Briarfell.
Nothing new, nothing special.
You're a witch, I'm a pixie, our best friend's a werewolf.
It could get bad.
Stop fighting your instincts.
We need to end this.
I think it's pretty simple what you have to do.
How did you find out about your powers? Something happened.
Lie to me again and maybe you'll find out.
And
that was cute.
Alon and Skip Studios. Yes. All right. All right, fellas, it's time to dive into a little bit more about Final Destinations. And to kick us out, we're going to talk about, let's do some ranking. Let's rank our favorite premonitions. And for those who don't understand that, these movies normally start off or kick off with their own type of opening sequence, which turns out to be a premonition. So out of the 6 movies, let's rank your premonition. And I'm looking for my picture as my reminder. I was trying to get to it, so just give me 2 seconds to help everybody if they don't remember that.
Yeah, if I don't know about.
I got you. Give me 2 seconds. Took a screenshot so I didn't have to do this. But if anybody, oh yeah, thank you. Okay, so we have Skyview Tower. That's from the one we just all saw. We have Highway Route 23. We have North Bay Bridge. We have the Devil's Flight roller coaster. We have the Volay Airline Flight 180 and McKinley Speedway Racetrack.
Ooh. I love it.
Take your time, fellas. That's 6.
I'm ready to go.
Period.
Ready.
Yeah.
I'm ready to go. I'll go first.
Hold on, Mark.
Are we doing?
Hold on.
Wait. I was about to ask you, are we going backwards or forwards? Like from one down to.
Get off. You decide. How about that?
Okay, I'm gonna start off with the. I'm gonna start from me, top down, because I want them to
favorite
feel
to the least.
Favorite to the least because they gotta get this. Okay. You said are we waiting for something or
we can roll. I think everybody feels ready to make their decision.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
Hit it.
Okay, for me, number 1 is Skyview. Reason why I say number 1 is because it did what Scream 5 did. It changed up what people were expecting.
The formula, okay.
The formula. You know what I'm saying? Because I was like, maybe she's gonna wake up and she's gonna get everybody out and everything like that. We're gonna see that whole, who made it out, and if they're gonna have any connections to characters from previous movies or something like that. But it's like, no, your granddaughter. And I thought it was cute how they did that. Number 2 would have to be Route 23 because y'all, until Bloodlines came out, I have a quick story. I had purchased Final Destination 2 when it came out on DVD. My dad drove me from the college that weekend. We passed several of those trucks. Now, keep in mind, I had not seen this movie yet. And so when I got back to my dorm and put the DVD in, I was unpacking. I was like, holy shit. And I called my dad, like, yo, I just saw this movie where, boom.
So it's personal for you.
Yeah, so that's number 2 because until number 6 came out, number 2 is my top 1. Okay. Number 3 is gonna have to be number 1 because I always wanted to fly a plane until I saw that movie, and so I'm like, but it took me a long time to actually get on the plane after that movie came out. So number 5 would be 4. Excuse me, number 4 would be the roller coaster. No. Number 5, only because it's the 4 came before it, the McKinley Bridge, and down at the very bottom, into the bowels of hell is the racetrack. Because why the fuck was that a damn place? We had subways, we got ocean liners, we got all this stuff. Like, yeah, let's go to a race car track. It's dumb to me, but that's my 6.
Okay. Who would like to go next? Jojo, yay!
Sure. Premonition wise, my top one would be the second one. So it's gonna go 2, 3, 1, 5, 6, 4, and 2 just because that just scarred me for life for the log truck. 3, because I think that was just the most exhilarating one. The first one because it's just the first one. I don't know, that one felt so real, and I'm so scared of airplanes to this day. Like, yeah. And then I've said 5. The bridge, that was good. The 6th one, the newest one, is okay. And then the last one will be the racetrack for obvious reasons.
For obvious reasons. Okay. Steph.
All right, so I'd like to start from the bottom up. Sorry to kind of stray away from what everybody else is doing. So number 6, obviously McKinley Speedway. It just was too. Just from a visual effects standpoint, it just looked so bad to me, and it just was. And I mean, yeah, no, not for me. Number 5 would definitely be the bridge. The bridge. It was good, but it was better than McKinley Speedway.
All right.
But it just once again, I think it's just that whole craze of the 3D effects that they put in it just took away from the actual acting for me, or the actual like fear of what was going on. And I mean, in hindsight, you kind of got to give number 5 a little credit because of the 3D thing. It made so much money that they continued to make more. So, I mean, sorry, 4. So, so McKinley Speedway, the bridge, and then after that, let's go number 1. And the reason why I have it so low, even though it was, the beginning, I would say, actually, no. We're going to change that. It's going to be, am I missing one? We're going to do, what was the, oh no, that was the bridge. The bridge was number 5. Okay. So we're going to put number 1 as my number 4 pick. I fly planes very often. Well, not fly them, but I'm on planes very often. So I try not to think about it. It started it all, and it was good. I like the practical effects that they used. I watched a lot of behind the scenes for that, and it was really good. Number 3, we're gonna put Final Destination 2, the Highway to Hell. I love that one. However, I feel like you don't see a lot of the deaths as much in depth, like when they're happening, as some other ones. Like, for example, you see the log kind of going through the car, and then you see the blood come out on the other end, which was pretty gruesome. But I love number 2. It's one of my top ones. I just think that part was a little. And then I love the fact that they kind of pull away. You think that she's going to save her friends in the car, and then they're gone. You think these people in the car are going to be the main people in the movie, and they're gone. So that was good.
That's a good choice.
Number 2 would have to be Skyview. I really did like it. I'm not going to lie. I hated the little kid. And as soon as I saw him, I'm like, I knew what was gonna happen, and of course, when he died, I think the whole theater clapped, which is ridiculously crazy. Yeah. And then, number 1 has to number 3.
Yay!
I love it. I just loved it. The deaths were gruesome. The deaths were in your face, and I love roller coasters, which makes no sense for me to put it at number 1, but yeah.
It's fun. It's adrenaline rush as it's happening.
Absolutely.
Yes.
It's just a crash. Joey, do you have your ranking prepared?
So you might be mad at me. I only watched the first 3.
That's fine.
You can skip the 4th.
So for me, I feel like the most traumatizing one was the 3rd one. It just the third one and the second one, I didn't feel like doing anything after watching those two. I'm like, I'm not driving. I'm not going on roller coasters. I'm not working out. I'm just going to stay indoors. Duct tape everything. Everything is just protective gear. Just everything. But they're all classics. I'm hearing all these other premonitions. I'm just like, okay, so I'm gonna watch.
Maybe we should have just did a a whole segment of watching all the openings, all the editions, right? That's still good. The first three are, in my opinion, the stronger ones, so I get it. King Michael, tell us, please.
All right. So I listed mine in order of the ones I would actually be scared in because I don't do heights.
Oh, that's interesting. Like
Very
that.
interesting.
We're going Flight 180 because I'm always thinking about what's going to happen on this plane if some shit happen. Skyview because that's high as fuck and I'm probably not going to survive.
Yeah.
Bridge, I can't swim. Bridge could collapse and all that other shit. Roller coaster, then highway, then racetrack.
Okay. Okay. Alex 3.0, thank you for coming and hanging out with us. You said Route 23. Oh, okay, I see your order now. Okay, Route 23, Flight 180, Skyview Tower, roller coaster, bridge, and NASCAR track. Okay. That's what 2, 1, 6, 3, 4, and then 5. Yeah. That seems about right. 5, 4. Don't remember any of those.
Highway to hell.
Who want to go next? Jimmy.
Yes. I am going to go from my favorite to my least favorite.
Okay.
Okay, so the first is Skyview.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely. Second is the roller coaster.
Mm-hmm.
Third is Flight 180.
Okay.
Fourth is the highway.
Oh yeah.
Fifth is hold up.
You got the bridge, and then you got
okay.
The motorway left.
The motorway. Okay, so the fifth is the bridge, and of course, final one is the motor speedway. Horrible.
Yeah, real bad.
Terrible. Yeah.
Car, that's actually really a cool idea. Oh, okay. That's a really cool idea.
On the Titanic.
The Titanic actually did have its Final Destination moment.
Oh, damn, damn, that's dark. That's dark.
Except nobody sees it coming.
Jack.
Yeah. I think the plot that I heard was like just do a random.
You could probably do something with that.
Yeah, because they said I read a report that said that this movie opened up a lot of ways they could play with like different time periods and shit. And somebody threw out an idea that have this movie set like in the early 1900s, and then the movie ends with the survivors boarding the Titanic, and that's how it ends, or something like that.
That'd be crazy. Well, the whole time
you
there
can
might have
do.
been somebody that had a premonition because there were people that warned the captain of the ship.
Oh, you can do astronauts. You know, you can do a whole bunch of things.
Oh, that'd be crazy. Final
space.
Destination is the Challenger.
Uh-huh.
Oh wow.
Not the Challenger.
I like that.
Yeah, I'd like to see Elon Musk in that movie.
Okay.
I would love that.
My order is as follows. The The roller coaster.
Yeah.
That's number one.
I knew I loved you.
That's my favorite one. And then the next, we're going to go with the airline, the first one. And then I feel like y'all giving this Sky Tower too much, but I'm going to make it third.
Agreed. I ain't want to say nothing.
I feel like y'all going to say it real bad, but I'm going to give it third.
Haters. Hating this shit.
And then, the freeway is next. That's what it says. Freeway is next. Highway to Hell is next. And then after that, they go in whatever order.
Look who it is.
Hi, Bobby.
Bobby.
Hey, y'all.
Bob, we're gonna put you on the spot since you just rolled on in like that. Tell us. Give us your
no, continue. You didn't finish.
I'm finished. I did.
Are you?
Yeah, I'm done. I'm actually done. Yeah.
Okay.
Love you, man.
I still ain't go. I go after Bobby.
Absolutely. You go close us out.
No, I go last. It's fine.
No. Go ahead.
Next guy here. I'm still,
You catching your breath?
Yes, I ran here,
Okay, Bobby. Only because I love you.
Okay.
Car. Go ahead.
My ranking is the Highway. That's my my favorite one.
Not Kimberly.
I feel like it's my favorite because it did what a sequel does in terms of like amping up the kills. Because when we got the plane one, it was just a crash. But this one, I feel like we got different vantage point of everyone. We got this happening, this. Like we saw how everyone was getting kind of trapped. So that's why the Highway one is my favorite. Next up is the plane crash because it's just iconic. I feel like it might be. It's iconic. I feel like someone who once was afraid of flying, it definitely did put some type of stuff into me, but I'm good now. So third one, we go to the roller coaster. It was fun. I feel like they, I like that they brought it back to teenagers again and stuff. I gotta put Skyview here, I guess.
Yeah.
It's so Skyview would be the fourth one. I thought it was cool. Everybody was getting messed up in that one. That one was crazy. Everybody was getting messed up in that one. 5 is the fifth one, and then the fourth one would be the racetrack.
Okay. That works. Why did they keep letting homegirl from the highway drive when she kept getting premonitions? Listen, Kimberly was
that might be the best person you want to drive, maybe. So then she was coming.
That's not what Stephanie's mom did. Oh no, Stephanie's mom was about to die. That's why she let her drive. That's right. That's her name, right?
Yes.
Stephanie's mom.
Yeah.
Darlene.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Mary Elizabeth Weinstein. And I just wanted to say that for Mark, Michael, and Bobby, and they understand.
That's still
We're proud of you.
Thank you. Okay, Bobby, are you ready?
Yeah. So top to bottom. So I have the roller coaster as my first one. That one, even though I love the second one so much, that roller coaster, that's one of my worst fears, is falling off a roller coaster and just Highway comes second. Because iconic scene, of course. The plane is third. Skyview is fourth. The bridge is fifth, and obviously the racetrack is last. I don't remember that movie too much.
It was so quick. You're good.
It was very quick. But yeah, that's my order.
Okay, I love that.
Thank you.
Let's see. Is it ready? Yes.
Why don't y'all like Skyview? Well, let's talk about this.
I didn't say I didn't like it. I'm just saying the ranking.
I didn't like it, but like what?
There were better ones.
You said you was giving it too much.
I just felt like everybody was like Skyview.
I think it added a little extra oomph because they gave us a little backstory with the couple. Some of the other ones, it's like random bitches on the highway. I don't know these people. I don't give a fuck if they die or not. You give me a couple. Somebody's pregnant, they want to get married, so it just adds a little more shit to it for me.
That's fair.
We had that in the third one though.
That is
What?
true.
The
We had that one in
people-
the third one as well. We had a lot of conversation going on before anything happened in the third one.
Yeah.
They all
Yeah.
Well, we all
and
had
they
they all
did.
had
Yeah.
conversations in all of them. It's just I guess the thing with the Skyview one was that I don't know, but I
They
just know
set
that
it
we
up
had a
so well. You
I don't
became
know.
attached to them more than other ones.
I really wish that we would have
Mhm.
followed her. Okay, we're not there yet. Yes, I agree. I like the fact that they got married, that they were engaged, and I like the fact that and I like that actress quite a bit too.
Yeah, I like how she did the whole thing. Also, I would say this though: instead of you giving a gaggle of people and you trying to, cram in all these personalities before they get on this ride, I feel like that's why somebody, like you said, Mike, that's why it made the most sense because you're only focusing on her and her man, and everybody else around them is just like we don't give a shit about them, especially the kid,
A
the
little
mean
monster.
ass Marta D,
Where was his
and
parents?
right, just we didn't care about all those folks. We were just
Where was his
worried.
parents?
Why was he there?
Why was he there?
Right.
All right, so Naya on Twitter gave her ranking for this, and she said in first place, y'all blowing it up, Skyview Tower.
Yes, sir.
In second place, we have Highway Route 23.
Okay.
Then third, North Bay Bridge.
You have
Fourth,
the bridge about a roller coaster, girl?
yeah, she tried it, but it's fine.
Bridges are scary as fuck. I don't know what y'all talking about.
Volay Airlines, Flight 180, and a huge fucking gap.
That's what I'm talking about. The bowels of hell.
I just think it's
of hell.
also a lot. I guess most people are not at racetracks either, so it was just kind of like, this ain't gonna.
Derby is a big thing.
Yeah, but all the other ones are situations. Maybe not the Skyview Tower, but all the other ones are situations you could be in regularly
At any time,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like all those places I could find myself in, but not in no damn racetrack.
And not no damn NASCAR. No.
Yikes.
When she said huge fucking gap, I don't know why I just saw like a big gap tooth, but it really random.
Hold up.
I mean, I like gap tooth. Oh, they're cute.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, that was our rankings. It's almost time for a fun commercial.
Oh.
And this one, it won't be too long. And when we come back, we will have a special guest that'll be joining us, and we will get this thing started.
Ali Lauder?
Period. Oh, almost.
Oh, you peeped the what's in that? Never mind. We talk about it. Idea.
And we are back from commercial. Orlando. Greetings and salutations. Welcome to Scream Kings. We can't hear you. You're muted.
Oh my God, and I knew that too. What's good, everybody? Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much.
I've been going through a lot. So I'm at Islands of Adventure. I'd spend like 30 minutes trying to find my car in the parking lot right now. So I've been going through it. But I made it.
You did.
Thank you.
Amen.
You did, and we're happy about that. Let us know a little bit about you and tell us where they can find you on social media.
Oh, where do I start? So, I mean, where do I start? So I make music. I'm a songwriter, producer, vocal arranger. I fix phones. So I work for Apple as a technician. So currently, I own my own cell phone company as well. So I fix phones. I make music. I've been in the process of starting 2 more companies, right? One is for like marketing, collaborating with like companies to do like marketing material. And then the other one is like room sprays, body sprays, all different types of stuff. So I'm kind of just bringing both of those companies together as one. There's some good stuff that I haven't seen anyone else do. So yeah, I make music. I do a lot of stuff, but yeah, that's kind of me summed up. So my life is pretty much technology, music. I have a passion for cooking as well, so I do cook on the side as like a second job. But yeah, that's what I do.
Okay. And
You can find me. So my Instagram is Lando Songwriter, LNDO. Well, actually, it's Lando Music, LNDO MUSIC. I have some stuff there. I also just, like I said, I just started 2 new companies. One's called Sticky Water. So that's the company that I plan on doing like the marketing material and stuff for with other businesses. So it's just it's Sticky Water Co. On Instagram. And then the other one's called Juicy Water. So that's going to be like room sprays, body spray, custom soap. And like I said, I plan on combining both of those companies and kind of collabing with those in like special ways that I haven't seen anyone else do. So yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much for sharing that. Make sure everybody put your social media information somewhere down here.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
We'll find
I'm
you.
gonna connect with you.
Okay. Yeah. Hit me.
Yeah, Steph is into music too, so that'll be cool.
Okay. Yeah.
What is your horror story? When did you start realizing that you liked horror movies? And what is your favorite?
I'll tell you the first time, which is this is hilarious, but the first time I think I've actually really liked horror is when I went over my aunt's one day and watched Dr. Giggles. So I know a lot of y'all know the movie Dr. Giggles.
Come on.
Yeah, exactly. That was literally like, I think that was like the ignition period for me. After I seen that, it was a wrap. But I used to also I used to go to my dad's a lot. And he like the New Blood, Friday the 13th, the New Blood with Tina the Psychic. So that was like literally one of my favorite horror movies for like the longest time. So that's kind of how it started. Just going to my aunt's and then going to my dad's house. And then it just kind of it went from there. And then after the first Scream came out, that's when I finally like had an actual passion for like storytelling and like great final girls and things like that. So that's when I kind of ignited like the interest in actual like what horror movies were. Like the initial periods was just me loving horror movies, but then once I saw Scream for the first time, I think that's what kind of like once you could see how smart a movie could actually be, that kind of like ignited my passion a little bit.
He had an awakening.
Exactly. I'm like Sidney Prescott done turned my whole life around.
That's a testimony a lot of us have, including Michael. Okay. So Orlando, here on Scream Kings, we have a little final girl battle that we have all the time about those kind of things.
God.
Michael loves him.
We really don't have to get into this because
I'm not talking
to a whole thing. It's going to turn to a whole thing. So we don't got to do
Michael
this.
loves him from Sidney Prescott. He keeps her name in his mouth.
So do I. So she's a winner to me.
Always. When we bring new guests onto the show, we like to take you to a very special place. And in this place is called the Hell Seat. And once you go to the Hell Seat, you'll be quizzed, asked a couple of questions, and the Kings will decide if you get to leave or not. So I don't have any.
So if not, would I stay in hell if
you stay in hell and we continue talking about Final Destination?
Without
you
me.
will burn in hell.
Okay.
All right. So let's get you to the Hell Seat. I think it's time.
Okay.
All righty, welcome to the Hell Seat. I'm not going to take it too easy on you, so be prepared.
I'm scared.
Okay? You should. Question number 1. We're going to do yes or no's. Michael Myers is better as a serial killer than Freddy Krueger. Yes or no?
Yes.
You got a why?
I'd say because Freddy Krueger, it takes. I think Michael is more kind of laid back as far as like he doesn't have to do too much in order to get the victim right. I think, and not to say Freddy Krueger does have to, but we go through a lot with Freddy Krueger, right? He has to be in your dreams for one, and I just feel like he does a lot. Right, I do feel like he's more animated, and I think he has more character. So I think, he has more character than Michael, but I don't think, like, as a serial killer, I think the fact that Michael Myers walks after you and he's more laid back and he's still going to kill you
Yes, he
regardless,
will.
right?
Yeah. All right. Question number 2. The Halloween franchise is better than the Friday the 13th franchise.
Halloween versus Friday the 13th.
That's what that's my notes.
I would say I like Friday the 13th better than the Halloween. I'd say Friday the 13th is, hold on, let me think. Because I mean, both of them have heavy hitters, but both of them have a lot of silly, a lot of silly shit going on as well. Um, Personally, I'd say I liked more Friday the 13th than I have Halloween movies. I enjoy both franchises, but like I said, I love the New Blood. As silly as that was one of the great ones that I actually really love. Um, yeah, so the thing is, I love Halloween as a season. Like I love the time period, and I think that's another thing that Halloween, the franchise, has going for it is that actual Halloween season, because that's a character in itself. But um, it's so hard because then when I think of Friday the 13th, you don't really think of any one final girl as you would like Jamie Lee Curtis, for instance, right?
Yeah.
Let me think. It's really hard.
In here, what's going on?
I'm gonna go with Friday the 13th. I'm gonna stick with Friday the 13th.
Okay. What are 3 items if we needed to summon you? What would they be?
That's crazy. Like summon me from the dead?
I mean, if you don't leave the Hellsea for sure, but just in general.
3 items. I would say, of course, a cell phone. 2 more items that I would say. Oh my God. It's a great question because I have no idea. Oh my God. 2 more items that you could summon me with. Oh my God. I'd say a cell phone, oh my God, this is hard.
You have 20 seconds or you're going to self-destruct.
Okay, well, I'm going to just name 2 things. Shit. You can summon me with a phone, a piano. I'm a musician. Summon me with a piano, or damn. How many seconds I got?
2.
A lobster tail.
Do you like lobster?
I love lobster. I'm a
That'll
seafood
work.
lover. Yeah, but that's just. I mean, that's just. I don't know. It wasn't good enough, but it worked. I mean, it's truthful for me, so I can say that
That's all that matters.
Yeah.
All right, now this one shouldn't take you no time. What is the best Scream killer monologue?
I mean, are you saying like as far as the end scene? I'm gonna go with Scream 1.
Okay.
Yeah, I feel like everything about Scream 1 was smart. And I think Scream 1.
Okay. And which motive in the Scream franchise was your favorite? Is the best, and why?
The motive itself, I would have to go with probably Scream 2. And I think Scream 2 because I think it was simple, right? I mean, of course, we got two killers, right? But I think the way that played out, and then knowing that the mother was the killer at the end, no one knew that. She was just some random lady. And I think just basically, right, you killed my son, right? So this is why I'm back. I think it was simple, and I think it played out very smart. So I think Scream 2.
Okay. Yeah, you love Friday the 13th. I could tell because that motive was very similar to.
Yeah, it was. Yeah,
Okay.
but I also think it was just the way that it all played out. No one knew who this lady was throughout the whole movie. And the way she popped out at the end, and I love, she had Gail, right? She had Gail at gunpoint, and for a second we was like, well, hold up, did Gail have something to do with it? But then when she came out, no one knew who that was until Sydney said something. And I'm like, well, damn, that was perfect, right? And then I just think it wasn't so elaborate that we had to think about it, right? We knew what it was, and I just felt like, I felt like that motive was great.
Okay, well, we're gonna go back to the rest of the Kings, and they're gonna give you your verdict and let you know what happens.
Oh God, don't let me burn.
Welcome back, everyone. All righty. King Michael.
Yes.
How did you feel about Orlando's performance in the Hell Seat? And do you have any other question that you would like to ask?
I think it's courageous and authentic for him to say he liked Friday the 13th over Halloween. Not a lot of people say that. So I like that. I am iffy about your Sidney Prescott choices. However, that was not a question in Hell Seat. Therefore, I think you passed.
And do you have another question for him?
Not at the moment, no.
I'll circle back to you in just a moment. King Bobby.
Yep.
King Bobby. What is diverse?
He passed, of course.
Thank you. Thank you.
I'm Halloween stand account over here, but I'm being biased, but I do love the Friday the 13th movies as well. I'll probably watch those more than the Halloween movies, but as far as story, Halloween got it. It got it beat a little bit. But other than that, you pass.
Thank you.
Other than that, yes.
As far as question, I don't. You put me on the spot. I don't have one, but you could probably circle back to me as well.
Okay, wonderful. It's just a little hazing.
Actually, yeah, I got one. What is your favorite remake out of all like horror like reboots and stuff? What is the one that you enjoyed?
That's a great question.
Like remake. Okay, so I would have
reboot,
to, I don't know
reimagining, requel, whatever you want to
so
call it.
I really love the Evil Dead Rise.
I knew he was gonna say that. I knew he was gonna say that.
Yeah, so like Evil Dead is one of my favorite horror franchises as well. But I think they did a great job with that, and I am interested to see the different stories that they tell with that. Like I feel like it stays fresh. I feel like it can work in any different situation. So I'm interested to see where it goes.
Okay.
He redeemed himself with that answer.
Over 2013. You choose that one over 2013.
I do, and the thing is, I do.
Okay.
People don't.
Ain't no clapping, Mark.
What?
It's truly Gemini season, but
Yeah.
okay.
It sure is.
Oh Lord, please let's not start.
Bobby, I'm with you on that 2013 though.
I want to hear this.
Yeah, tell us about 2013 because that get all the love over here. What's going on?
Dog.
Like I mean, so I don't dislike either one. What I liked about Rise was it was a fresh story, right? I think there was nothing wrong with 2013 at all. Like there was nothing wrong with it. But when you have to choose between two things that are great, like one, you have to choose one. And the reason I choose Rise is because I really loved everything about that story. Like I loved how I loved the main character, right? I loved her. I loved her story. I loved what it was trying to tell when it came to like, having kids and then family type things. So and I also loved the 2013 where, drug addiction is important. So I feel like they both had important stories to tell. I just like Rise because I felt like it tried to be different in a way that we weren't going out to a cabin in the woods somewhere. We were somewhere else and we had a different story to tell. So I think it set itself apart because it was a little more original, and I'm all for originality. So they're both great. Like I would never like, but I could watch both of those. I loved how like I just love how down and dirty both of those were. But I just love how original that story was, and I love how we were getting away from a cabin in the woods, and that gave us hopes in what we could see in other scenarios. So that's the only reason why I put that above.
Great answer.
Love it.
Okay, we'll take that. All right, let's see. Mark, King Mark.
I felt he passed in flying colors. There was a little. I got a little nervous about the Freddie comment though, but you came back with it, and I want to explain myself about to Bobby because Bobby knows good and damn well I love 2013 Evil Dead, but I have to go with what Orlando said because I feel like it did something different, and I feel like that movie gave them a sandbox to play in, and I feel like 2013 set the tone and Rise took it out because I'm hoping that Burn does something totally different too. The only question I would probably have, because you already took what you said, my question was going to be, what's your other horror franchise that you like outside of slashers? So you answered it with Evil Dead.
Yeah.
So now I have to ask you, do you read for leisure? We're all big readers here. I can say all of us, but some of us are. Let me take that back. Some of us are because I don't know.
We're like
a lot of us.
So I'd say
A
it
lot of
depends.
us.
So I don't read a lot of books.
In and out.
But I read a lot of other things.
It
Like
depends.
I feel like I'm a critical person, right? So I read a lot of reviews. I read a lot of different things about a lot of different things. I'm not a book reader. I'm a writer though. So you know what I mean? I'm a writer. So I write
Right.
a lot of stuff. So
Me too.
but yeah, I do read a lot, but I don't read a lot of books.
That's fine.
Not I feel you.
You said what?
I feel you because I don't read like that either.
Yeah.
So,
But I'll read a million reviews about a restaurant, a movie, whatever. Like I'm a critical person, so I read a lot of other things. But when it comes to like books, no.
Yeah, no, I like that because you have to read up on your competition and stuff like that,
Right.
and on just trying to like elevate what somebody didn't do. You can take some out of those reviews and apply it to what you do with your work. So yeah, it's all good.
Yeah.
I'm just I like to I like to see Black men reading. I'm not saying that we don't do it often, but
no. One thing about me is I'm an advocate for like being educated. So like, and of course you don't have to just read or you don't have to just do a certain thing.
Right.
But it is important to be educated. And like and a lot of people don't like look at that as important, but and I get where you're coming from with that. So I do think that's important because I know a lot of people can't read.
Well, it's
And
not
they
that
don't, and a lot of people don't even try to like, you know what I mean? Just try to look outside of what they're comfortable with. So
right. But I'm a former librarian. That's where that question came from because we'd already covered all the movie stuff. So I was just trying to bring something new to the mix. But I feel like you passed the flying colors, y'all. Like for real.
I appreciate it.
Okay. King Carr, your verdict, and if you have an extra question. Muted.
It's funny. My question was going to be an Evil Dead question, but because he has that one, he gets a pass from me.
Thank you.
I go back and forth on what's I don't think you honestly go wrong with choosing Rises over the 2013 one. So like,
I don't either.
Yeah.
I think
I think it's
both
either
great in
or,
their
to
own
be
regard.
honest. If you pick 2013 more, like I feel like they got the best of both worlds. Like I don't know, like 2013 was a great Evil Dead remake, but Evil Dead Rises was just a great Evil Dead movie.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
King JoJo.
Yeah, I mean, I think you pass just based off the fact that you want some lobster tail because I want some too.
No, that question really got me. I was like, what the
Lobster
hell?
tail,
But
man.
no.
I haven't had that in a minute. So you pass just based off that. But I do have a question for you. So you're talking about Freddie. So real quick, Alice or Kristen, and why?
Come on, JoJo.
Eat that, JoJo.
Mike,
Alice or Kristen?
Get that peach, JoJo.
I would
Yes.
say, well, honestly, and I'm gonna be 100% honest because I would have to go back through. Kristen, I remember more. She seems like someone who's more memorable to me.
I rescind
Mike
my
has
vote. I rescind my vote.
Mike has left the chat.
Sorry, Mike.
I'm not
I didn't mean to point,
surprised.
though.
I'm not surprised.
We about to flip the table over.
I rest my case. That's all.
JoJo, you ate that.
I have a question, actually. I thought of it.
Hold on 1 second, please. Yeah.
Do you think Sidney Prescott is responsible for Hallie's death in Scream 2?
No.
I don't. I do not.
Orlando, what is going on here?
Yeah. That was your question. Yeah.
I mean,
I see what's going on here.
I didn't do it.
I see what you're trying to do.
told
I see
you.
what you're trying to
I
do.
told- no,
okay.
it's just the fact
Hallie
that-
volunteered. Hallie volunteered to get in that cab and go with her.
Oh,
I'm her therapist. Ain't that what you
She
said?
could stay right there on campus.
Yeah,
just
and
stay
you know,
there.
originally, you know, according to the original script,
Yeah.
that scene playing out exactly.
Mm-hmm.
So she did it to herself.
She was gonna die anyway.
She was going to die, or she was going to be the killer.
Both, actually.
Killer was
Yeah.
great.
So whenever they filmed that scene, they had plans on her being, you know, something. Not that.
I got it. I got it.
King Joey, do you have a verdict for us and a question?
I was a little iffy when you said Friday the 13th was better than Halloween. I was like, hold up, wait a minute. And then you redeemed yourself with Evil Dead, and I was like, all right, fine, you pass. You pass with flying colors.
I appreciate it. I mean, and then when it comes to Halloween or Friday the 13th, it's so hard because I feel like they're both on the same level.
I feel like Halloween has more continuity with story. You lose me when Freddy goes to space. I'm just like,
good, Mark.
What are we doing here? What are we doing here? Why?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I guess so. I think Halloween just. I've seen some silly. I've seen silly Halloween movies as well, and they haven't gotten that far.
Okay, you have going to space.
My man
and then
Lando
you
put
have
that
Open My
shovel
Powers
down.
No, the thing about Halloween is you have 3 different continuities that you have to choose your own adventures with.
Literally,
which is a lot of fun. You lose
It is
me, like
fun.
you said,
It's fun,
when
but
you
at
go
the
to
same
space,
time-
and then we
Lord.
somehow go back onto Earth, and then we go into hell, swapping bodies and eating hearts, and then
I love
like.
that one.
No, look.
I know you do. Tell you mine.
Friday the 13th. If you pay attention, the first movie took place one time period. Then you jump 5 years, and parts 2 through 4 take place in the same weekend. You skip
We
a
know
year, that's
that.
part 5. You skip a year, that's part 6. You skip a year, that's part 7. You 8, but it's all within the continuity.
Yeah, I just feel like
Halloween
Halloween
1,
stayed
2,
more
4, 5,
grounded.
and 6 is all in the same in that.
That's
Thank
the
you for
same
including
continuity,
six.
but then you get then you get to H2O. What kid? I only have one son. And then you get to H2, then you get to Resurrection. Oh, we don't need Laurie
But you
Strode
know
no more.
what? Halloween isn't afraid to take risks. It's not safe like other franchises. I was going to say
The multiverse of Michael Myers.
Nightmare on Elm Street and Halloween are the risk takers of the horror franchises.
You see what I mean, Orlando? This is what I mean.
I knew you did something behind the scenes. You ain't slick.
I didn't do it. No, I said this before we went to the hell feed about how we feel about these things.
This is fun. I'm having a good time arguing. Fuck Final Destination. What
Okay,
else will we talk about?
Steph and Jimmy, you know you have the Scream King stage quite a bit. So tell us, what do you think about Orlando? Verdict, and do you have a question for him?
I'll let you go first, Jimmy.
Okay. All right. He passed. He passed.
Short and sweet.
What?
He passed. My question is, what would be your dream blunt rotation out of the horror of villains?
Oh.
Like who would I want to put? Who would I
That
want
is
in my
off the
rotation?
wall, Jimmy. Jeez.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Well, of course I want Ghostface. I need Ghostface in there. Well, how many people does it matter?
I would say 5.
I mean,
Ooh,
oh my god, that's a lot
that's hot.
of horror villain, right? Oh. Well, I'll take Jason, Freddy, Ghostface, Chucky, and because I mean, with Freddy and Chucky alone, I know I'm dying laughing if I ain't getting killed. And then one more. Who else? We'll go with
Sydney Prescott.
But I thought he said villains.
He sure did.
Yeah.
He sure did.
Yeah.
Look at you starting trouble.
Yeah.
Alice.
Sharkeisha, no.
No, we could
Give
go with
your power.
Annabelle. Because all she do is sit there anyway.
Okay.
She don't move. She doesn't do
Annabelle.
You gonna burn
I
the
live
damn dollar.
there, grand with them
You gonna
bubbles.
burn the dollar.
Bless your heart.
Okay. That was a good question. Steph, round us
Yeah.
off.
shit. Yeah, I'm catching me off
I
guard
mean,
with these
I'm
weird questions.
biased because when I was younger, like the movies that I watched a lot were I didn't see the Halloween movies until much later. I grew up on Friday the 13th, so when he gave some of the answers, and then especially the first one, he explained, who, even though he said that Michael Myers is like he doesn't have to do much to get his kill, whereas Freddy has to do a lot. They gotta go to sleep, drink, whatever, prey on whatever their insecurities are. I really liked how he explained that. Yeah, no, he passed for me, for sure. And I'm already biased because of all the other music stuff and things that we'll talk about. But I'll make my question very easy, and I'm removing one category out of it because I think it's just a cop-out answer. So normally I'd say, witch or warlock, vampire, or werewolf, but I'm removing witch or warlock out of it because I feel like that's an easy pick. But vampire or werewolf, like which one would you rather be?
Would I rather be? I'd rather be a vampire because I'm not trying to look hairy and crazy. I still want to look like me. I still want to do me things, and vampires are kind of sexy, right? Like there's a sexiness to vampires.
Did you not see Teen Wolf? Do you not want a leather jacket? Do you not want come on?
You can be a vampire with a leather jacket.
You can
Exactly. You can be sexy and nice with sharp teeth. I'd rather be a vampire. I'd be a vampire. Yeah.
Okay. I still like you. You good?
Thank you. Oh well, I guess you prefer werewolf
all day, wolf pack all day.
But that's what makes us individuals.
Okay. We have other werewolves and witches and vampires here. That's okay. A nice little mixed coven. Orlando, will you tell us which final girl is overrated?
Overrated. Oh God.
Alice won't be there, Michael. Relax.
Messy hoe.
Alice ain't on the list right now.
No, he doesn't. No
she
one
shouldn't be on that
no.
list. She shouldn't be on that.
She's not overrated. You have to be known.
Hey, my Gail is not a final girl.
I would say Sam. Sam.
Oh,
no, bro.
Sorry.
Overrated.
No, man.
Way overrated.
Did you say overrated?
Hey, let's go.
Wow.
Like Sam Carpenter?
Sam Carpenter.
Y'all are setting
I'm sorry. Look, I'm sorry. I wouldn't be me if I didn't feel that way. She was so stale. I can't help it. Like I can't.
She was
help
better
in 6.
in Scream 6.
Mark, not this dramatic.
But she's still. she's still.
I'm pretty sure she was on drugs in 5.
Right,
yeah.
right, in her,
Who was
even
it?
if she was on drugs in the story, but her acting still felt disconnected. And that's just my opinion, of course.
It happens.
But I felt like everything about what came with her was annoying. Like we had Ghost Billy, and it just she was way
I gotta
overrated
watch
for
it
me.
again. I gotta watch 5
It's
again.
not her fault though.
You know.
Right. She can only do with what's getting given to her, you know?
And that's
You're
true,
right.
and I think what she executed, just in my opinion, was lackluster. But that, I mean, I don't expect anyone else to agree. I just
No,
Sam
you're good for it.
No, you're
Sam
fine.
No, yeah, no,
Carpenter.
this is
You
this is
good?
awesome.
They just give you a
Overrated
hard
on
time.
opinion.
I know, and
I
I
like
get
this.
it,
Those are your thoughts?
but she was
All right.
overrated.
Yeah.
All right. Stop giving him the shovel, please. Stop
Receive.
giving him
Someone
the
attacked
shovel.
me in the break room.
Tamad, fuck this movie. What?
We're going to a commercial soon. Bobby, you did ask your follow-up question. Before we go to commercial, King Joey has to leave soon, so we wanted to get your thoughts and a ranking about what the occasion is, Final Destination. So give us like your spiel, and yeah.
My spiel on just like how I feel overall.
Oh, what did you like and what didn't you like?
With this one, Bloodline,
Mm-hmm.
I only saw the trailer. I didn't.
You haven't seen it?
I didn't. I said I was going to, and I didn't get the chance to. I know.
Mark, your
gotta see
face
it.
was priceless. Your face was priceless. Joey, we're about to see.
I will
your
say
ass
you missed one of the best leads of the franchise. I will say that.
I know.
Say what?
That's
You missed one of the
agree.
best leads of the franchise.
Mike,
Well,
that's
Joey, we're gonna say
Mike,
this.
that's no.
we gonna talk, bro.
Friday, this Friday is Prom Queen on Netflix.
Yes, I'm definitely watching it.
Okay, and we will see you next week for Prom Queen.
Yes.
All righty, we will let you pass for now, but you almost got electrocuted by Mark. That's a nasty hell seat. In fact, next time you come, he gonna do your hell seat. No, I'm just kidding.
I'm scared now.
Okay.
But thank you for your time tonight. Thank you for coming and kicking with us.
Of course.
With us, and we will see you next week for Prom Queen.
Bye.
Peace.
All right.
Mark,
All
where are
right.
you? Where's Mark? There. That face.
You look disappointed.
It was worse than that.
Well, he said
It
he
was
didn't
wor-
see
it was
it.
like-
He said he only
Remember when
saw
Lori
three.
turned around to John in the market in Halloween H2O? That's what he was giving. What the fuck is your problem?
No, it's not. I didn't know that he had not seen it. I thought he had seen
When he
this
said I
one.
saw 1 through 3, I thought he just meant like
That
the
and
side
then
six.
watch
4 and 5.
That's what I
I've seen 1 through
thought.
3, you know?
That's what-
The side 6.
Yeah.
Baby, that's how you shake the table.
No, I thought he saw 1 through 3, and he went to go see 1 through 3. Then he saw 6 because he
Me
probably
too.
couldn't. Yeah,
Me too.
that's what I was thinking. I didn't know that he hadn't seen it yet. That's what threw me off.
It's funny because Thomas is like, what's your thoughts on the movie? He's like, Bloodlines? I was thinking, yeah. He's like, oh, I hadn't seen it.
And I think Tamar knew he hadn't seen it, but I'm not.
No, I didn't. Why would I?
I told you he be setting people up. I told y'all.
If I set you up, you would know it, baby.
Oh my
I
god.
told y'all.
Learn from that, Lando. Don't when he hands you the shovel, do not take it.
Not true. It's not called a setup. Bobby, help me do something. Oh, really? Oh, really?
I love you, friend. I love you so much.
Really?
I love
Mark, do something. Mark.
you. I love you.
What was I supposed to do? I mean.
Wow.
This is really
String a spell,
This
something.
is so insane.
He's
Own your
really-
villainy.
You really
Just
Gail
own it.
Weathers. You really
Own your
Gail
villainy. Own your villainy. Own it.
Yeah.
I love
I
this
would love-
little picture.
I love it. I love it. I love your villainy for you, but just own it. And we
I wasn't being a villain.
I'm just saying you have villain tendencies.
No. I'm not gonna take this. Orlando, you did great. It seems that you passed or whatever, and so we are so excited that you were able to make it out of hell.
Yeah, me too. Thank you.
It was
Thank
rough.
you,
You got
y'all.
grilled.
I did it with y'all's help. Thank you.
Yeah.
You came out smelling like burnt lobster though, but you good.
You did.
Burnt lobster.
Question for everybody. Out of our favorite final girls, which one do we think could be a cool lead in one of these Final Destination movies?
Sam.
Sydney Prescott.
Clock that.
Because we know she ain't dying. Everybody else dying except her. So she's moving on to the next. So she gonna keep on, once she's done with Scream, then she can move on to Final Destination. That feels fitting actually. Like Sydney Prescott, the girl who never dies, moves on to Final Destination, and she never dies.
Contract. I'm a piggyback off of that because she has been shot several times and resuscitated and stabbed. So I could see that happening. They had to
she died.
I'm surprised that you marked.
And she got her ass beat in the hospital. Don't ever forget
I'm
that.
gonna go with Nancy Thompson. She is really resourceful and smart.
That.
So
I was
going
going to say
Nancy
Nancy
Thompson
as well. Yep.
I can see that too, though.
Yeah. Sydney ain't surviving shit.
No, I'm talking about Nancy.
Happening. It is not.
I'm talking about Nancy.
Happening.
I tell y'all who would not make it. Julie James, but okay.
Nobody would ever believe her premonition.
I already forgot about her anyway, honestly.
Could you imagine her freaking out? Everybody would just look at her like, what is she talking about? What plane?
She would give a killer scream though.
She will give you that.
And it would scare you. She would scream better than what's her face in this Bloodline, Stephanie.
She's awful.
Oh yeah.
Real quick. When the premonition is over and she wakes up and she's in her classroom.
Yes.
Like her facial expression was always looking like she was worried. Like I get it, but I was just tired of looking at her face like that. Like it was something about the way her face always looked throughout the whole movie. Like it was always that look.
She was always like
she was very believable as the character, but she was just I was like, God damn, she won't stop looking like this.
Was she believable? Was she smart? Do you really think that she was just going through a rough phase?
Yeah, I mean, I'd say if I seen someone going through that, acting like her, I would believe it. I felt like she was believable in that you could tell she was going through things, but it just got to the point for me that I was just like, I'm actually sick of her.
Her classmates didn't care. Her teacher didn't care. Nobody cared.
Her teacher did not care, bro.
Her roommate didn't care. Her roommate was like,
didn't care. Her roommate was
I
like,
think it takes more than a bad dream to.
And she's the one that started it all anyway. She
critically
just left her grandmother alone. Left her alone.
Right.
But she was going to die anyway. She was going to die anyway, though.
That roommate was giving Danielle Harrison Urban Legends.
Wow.
Like,
so y'all didn't feel no sympathy for her. Y'all didn't think her performance was.
You need character.
Y'all didn't feel anything when her mother died. And she realized her mother died. Y'all didn't feel nothing.
So are we going? Are we going off the cuff?
Her mother died. No.
Are we going off the cuff here about how I think about the movie? Because
no, it was just
a commercial comment.
Not yet.
Okay.
Who was your final girl, Mark? Did you say Nancy also?
It's a toss up between Nancy and Sid. Y'all know that's I'm a Gemini. Those are my two sides. So in the final girldom, you know what? That's a lie.
Don't yuck nobody's yum.
That's a lie. But anyway, it's a toss up between Sydney and Nancy. I'm sorry because a part of me wants to say Geraldine from Demon Knight, but I feel like she would probably be more. She would be more aware because you got to be aware about this shit, because you can't just sit there and just go by and do exploratory shit. You have to be aware of the shit that's going on around you. And I feel like she would be more aware. Kind of like, Buffy. You know how Buffy uses her
that would be a good one.
Surroundings to outdo some shit. You have to be aware of what's going on around you to be able to cheat death. And I feel like Geraldine is one of those people that will be able to do that. So between Geraldine and probably Sydney Prescott, I think Nancy will be a close third though.
Jojo, are you sticking with Sam?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Sam because I think she's resilient, and I think she knows how to get like nitty gritty and dirty if she needs to, and she'll go there. She'll do the running. I think she would. I think she could make it to the end until, a log runs after her and tramples her.
And she can rally the
prom,
troops.
yeah.
People listen to her. They were all
Yeah.
listening to her in that movie.
Yeah.
So I think
Yeah.
I think she'd be believable too.
Yeah, I actually do too. Car, who are you thinking out of the final girls that would be a cool, interesting lead in one of these movies?
I was gonna say Mindy.
Yes.
Who?
Mindy Meeks Martin.
She might have a better
Oh.
chance of surviving.
What you say, Jimmy?
she don't know
She-
nothing.
I feel like she might have a
knows
better
She be
chance
surviving. That
at
girl be getting
surviving.
Oh, okay.
She got
Yeah.
stabbed and
Yeah,
then
she had
left
a
the
better chance.
hospital and then ran to go help everyone. She could survive death's plan. She's definitely the type to be sitting there going like, "No, guys, you got to see. I saw it in death and da 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 da
True.
da."
That is true. That
I
is
see
true.
it. Yep.
I
I
see
see
it
it
too.
Mhm.
Okay. Jimmy, do you have one?
I'll say Sam. I'm going.
Okay.
Sam.
Steph, did you answer?
No, I didn't. And as usual, my dog made his way in here. Apologize if there's any barking. As usual, I'm going to go off the beaten path just because I feel like my way in the horror was just very avant-garde. So we're going to say, I had to look it up because I couldn't remember the name. But remember the movie Sorority Row?
Yeah.
Cassidy.
Okay, yeah.
Which one was Cassidy?
The lead. She was the lead.
The lead.
Oh, from Step Up?
Yes.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, Brianna.
Evian. She's good. I like her.
Yeah. I can't wait to see her again.
Me
Great.
too.
From helpless to that.
Badassery. At the end.
Those are good choices. I have three. My
You
first
said
one is
one.
Ripley.
You said one.
What did I say now?
One.
I have Ripley choice.
That's a good one.
Yeah, I think that she would be
Ripley?
great.
Oh shit.
Yeah, she can get people to follow her. She is a queen, literally, and she's resourceful. She's smart, and she's very brave. And honestly, I think it takes a lot of fucking bravery to survive something that's something literally trying to kill you that you cannot honestly stop.
To be fair, they ain't believe her. They ain't believe her when they re-woke her when they woke her up.
None of them. But yeah, that was.
No, to be fair, they ain't believe Ripley.
It was always
How
it
did
was
that
too
answer
late.
them? It was. And then my honorable mention, since I can't do three, sorry, Michael, is the one person who would definitely survive and definitely allow people to process what's happening and explain to them that death is trying to get them. And there's none other than Gail Louise Weathers.
Where Louise come from?
Louise.
She was writing an amazing
Gail
book.
Louise Weathers.
She would write an amazing book on surviving death.
She would. She would.
That's designed
I
by Gail
don't
Weathers.
think she would be good at this because she'd be insulting them the whole time if they don't believe her. And so
Exactly.
she's
Just like
they're
that.
not going to listen to her.
That's fine.
And she just watch him die.
She will, or she'll kill one.
And that'll
to
be
save
more
her
stuff for her to put in her book.
I think she should
They
name
didn't
the book.
listen, they died.
You scream people are nuts.
I
There's
think
no way.
her book should be called "Surviving the Real Ghostface" because it's a real ghost.
It is.
Surviving the real Ghostface, like Gail Weathers.
And it would sell. Okay, that was interesting. Okay, so let's get into more of this Final Destination movie, if that's okay, Michael. Let me know. Oh, my joke was Jennifer Aniston from Leprechaun. Tori. Okay. Since we have been talking about Kimberly, and Michael made a great announcement that she is officially the Michael, tell
Final
us,
girl. Final girl of Final
of this
Destination.
franchise. Let's talk about ranking the leads of each individual movie. Favorite to least favorite.
I only have three.
That's
Yeah, I was about to say I only remember I would say Nothing Ever is one to top the first one though. So
I'm
Alex is my
going
favorite.
Alex is the best.
Clear. I'm gonna say she's the lead. Stephanie and Alex, and that's all I got.
Clear's the lead.
I get it.
What movie?
Sometimes the secondary
The second
character
one.
And the second one?
The lead can die.
She died.
You know it happened.
Like, never mind.
No, I don't like what they did with her character in the second one.
But made her real crispy.
I
Oh,
think
like
she's like the only one who had like that grit. Like we had somebody who already dealt with it coming back, and so I kind of liked that vibe I was getting from her.
Me
Versus
too.
everybody else, it's just the same thing over and over and over
It
again with the other
is.
characters.
Yeah. When they showed her in that insane asylum, I was like, that feels good. She had a makeover. She looked stronger. Her hair was blonder. She looked good. Yes, that was great. I wish it would have been Alex though. No shade. What about you, Bobby? Do you have a top three, a order, all six, whatever you want to give?
I like the first dude.
Alex,
The first movie, yeah. Alex. Everybody else is just I was just in it, following them. I was chilling. I don't know. I didn't really have a favorite, really.
Not Mary Elizabeth.
And some of the people I did like, they died in the movie, so I was just like, okay. But as far as leads, yeah, Alex is my favorite.
Okay. JoJo, what you got for me?
I'm gonna say my top lead would be Wendy in the third one.
Period.
So it'd be 3-1 for Alex. 2.
What's her name?
Exactly.
Kimberly.
Wendy. No.
Kimberly's the second.
Kimberly.
One. So it's 3, 1, 2, 5, 6, 4.
Okay.
That's what I said.
Okay. Stand on business. Mark.
Actually, Wendy.
Yes.
Number 1, Kimberly. Number 2. If I had to go at number 3, it'd be Alex. Number 4 would be actually not Stephanie. I actually prefer Iris. Because Iris is, to me, Iris was just a bitch. She's fought the motherfucker for like what 70 some odd years. So
yeah.
And then the other 2 from 5 and 4.
It's okay. Yeah.
4.
The ones that no one knows.
4.
The redhead girl, right? The escalator. I don't know. Whatever.
Exactly that.
Exactly that. Steph, you got 1 or 2 or 3?
Yes, I mean, Mary Elizabeth Winstead, like, just memorable, and I just really like the way that
she in the corner.
Just the way that they framed it to where she actually the way that her research went, and then it went beyond just like articles, and it went to the photos rather than I felt like it just. It did it for me, and was connecting it to like even bigger things beyond that has happened in the real world, like 9/11 and whatnot. So that was cool for me. Then I would say, in that order, I guess it would be, I don't know, 1 and 2, Alex and Wendy are so. I mean, I'm not Wendy. Kimberly are so close for me. They're too close. I can't put. I feel like they're both tied for second for me. But I felt more for Alex because he was, I guess, not accosted, but just like he was shunned away for trying to, and hated for more than any of the other ones for like saving, the people, and they really didn't like believe him. It was almost like a mental stoning for him. So I really felt that, and he sold it as far as like the acting.
Yep.
Agreed.
Yeah. But Wendy's girl can go. With the red hair, she can go right up in that escalator. And then actually, 5, he wasn't bad. He did pretty good. So I put him as number 4. And then I'd put Stephanie. I mean, I liked her, but I don't know.
That's exactly why I did that. 5 and then 6.
Yeah, I think I'm there too. Car, what we thinking?
Yeah, I got Kimberly and Clear up there for me.
I'll take it.
Clear made it to the sequel.
And who can say that?
She at least did that,
Yeah.
Yeah, Claire's always been my girl. Now I like the little. I feel like there was. I don't know if y'all peeped. There was like a little quick little nod to her in the latest movie.
What What was it?
Wait, so we could have added Claire too, because I mean, she was, I guess, a lead. I thought you meant like the lead or the person
I
who was
did,
having
but
the
you know what?
premonitions.
We'll just do
Honor,
it.
she's an honorable, yeah.
She is honorable. She is honorable.
She okay, I
Mhm.
guess. Yeah, she seemed yeah.
They mentioned her
I
name.
feel like
Did y'all
she's like
hear
the
them?
male
They mentioned her name.
What did they say?
So
no,
when
it was quick. I could be reaching, but it was quick when they were.
no, I heard it too.
Yeah,
I heard. So when the mom was saying, "Oh, I remember when Iris was telling me she had a friend named JB, and he works at a hospital, something River, High River," and then she says Clear, and then they stopped her. She said Clear River.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
She says
Good
Clear, and then stops, and then they said whatever next line was.
Gotcha.
Got it. Okay. Well, that's one Easter egg. Anyway. Jimmy, how did you? What was the? I forgot. Who was your lead? Who was your favorite lead?
I'm gonna give you my 3.
Yeah.
Say, Alex.
Yep.
Wendy. And Kimberly.
Okay.
Yeah, we're pretty much on the same page with those 3. For
I
sure.
think that's my answer as well. I'm gonna echo that statement. Wendy is number 1, Alex, and then Stephanie. But Stephanie needs respect on her name because she is the girl at this current moment. Are you guys? Never mind now. All right, next question.
She ain't the final girl.
She is. And the weird thing is, like, I expected us to have an Easter egg because she was on set and everything. So I'm just really surprised at a few things that they didn't do in this movie. Let's skip to
Wendy. For Wendy?
No.
For Stephanie?
No, not Stephanie. Part 2.
Kimberly.
Oh, Kimberly.
She was on set?
Yeah, I would have thought she would have had a cameo or something.
Where did you hear she was on set? I heard that they said that she was an earlier draft of the script.
Set photos.
Oh.
That would have made sense.
They could have easily put her in the hospital.
Yeah, or she should be just living her best life. She survived. Okay, so what is the favorite death of everyone in this one? And you can just yell out when you're ready.
There were so many good ones though.
Wheelchair.
MRI piercing.
MRI. Yeah, that's mine too. Wheelchair.
Bobby.
That one, and then when old girl got knocked into the fucking trash truck.
Exactly, that's the one I was gonna say. Her whole face was gone.
That was funny. That was one of my fears too, because like I thought about what is it, Child's Play 3?
Child's Play 3.
Oh yeah.
When he got crushed in it. So I'm just like, they haven't did a kill like that in the movie in a while.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Can we talk about that CGI though?
Okay.
Yeah, I mean,
it was better than 4. I mean, the Final Destination.
I would say this. That was my only complaint about the movie as a whole. Was
the
CGI.
Huh? The CGI because
in this movie.
Yeah, because but I didn't let that deter my experience though, because these are very fast deaths. You know what I'm saying? It's not like you had to sit there and be like, you can use practical effects with this shit. Because they were too quick. But it just felt like for instance, the candy machine bit, it just looked bad, even though you knew it was coming. But when it hit his head, it just felt like his head was like, like a balloon, like, it just, I don't know, it just.
Yeah, and the trash can, her face was that was bad.
And like during the premonition scene, like it just like splat, 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 and it was just okay or whatever.
But didn't they say originally it was supposed to be it wasn't supposed to be a theatrical release? So I'm thinking that budget, because I think originally it was supposed to go straight to like when they first announced it, it was supposed to go straight to like. So I think that budget is what kicked in, and they ain't have the budget to really do all the practical. But yeah, it did look kind of Easy.
Because when you compare, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead. Go ahead. Finish.
No. I was just saying when you compare we all talked about the nail gun death in 3 to like all the stuff that went down in this one. I feel like the nail gun death was very good practical effects, but they kind of took their time with it, But with this one, we're just like quick, So
I think standards are lower too. Like the audience, a lot of people aren't judging those things, and I think that they now know that if they can get away with not putting in that extra care, and they still can get the same effect, or people are still going to love it, and just kind of get over the fact that it wasn't that good, they're still going to release it.
Popcorn.
Yeah, it's a popcorn movie. That's why I didn't give it I didn't just like shit on it a lot. I was like, this is a popcorn movie. And it was a return to form. People came expecting crazy deaths, and that's what they got. And I was here for it, I just the CGI was just a tad bit overdone for me. But what you can expect.
I don't think it gets more overdone than 4 and 5, especially 4.
Oh yeah,
and then 5 with the gymnastics death.
I was just thinking about this.
Yeah,
the gymnastics scene,
and I could definitely see the correlation with the gymnastics death, and then like when they were falling from the Skyview Tower, that kind of like splat thing, and I get that. I would like to think that, do we really know what a body looks like when it's falling in splats? Like, do we really know? So,
we can find out.
Find out. So I'll just take it for what it is. But
a lot of times real life stuff looks fake. So
yeah.
Car, what is your favorite death?
I'm gonna go with the MRI one, I guess. With the machine on there, because I feel like I didn't have exactly a favorite death out of this one. I guess.
Really?
We talking about like overall or just 6?
We're just talking about 6. I mean,
yeah. 6. I honestly did not have a favorite death in there. I agree with somebody said in the chat. It definitely probably would have been the trash can one, because I like that happened in the backyard. I'm sorry, not backyard, background. I like that one. You know what? I'm gonna go with the I forgot about the lawnmower.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah,
thank you.
Yeah, the lawnmower. Honestly, I think the lawnmower might have been the best setup one in there.
Yeah, I was about to say that.
I think
The more Final Destination-esque type thing.
Yeah,
they took a page out of 5 with that one, with the nail on the balance beam. They took a page out of that, and they just were like, whose glass is it in?
The director was like, you can't just put ice in a cup and think you're just gonna drink it. Like in the movie theater, like I was squirming and screaming, like, please just get this to the part where somebody's gonna get hurt. The suspense and build up to that was so good.
The glass and the cup.
Yeah.
I said to Mike,
go ahead.
Oh my bad. I said to Mike, as I was like, there's no way you don't notice that big ass piece of glass in that cup unless you're an ice eater. And then as soon as I said that, the guy takes a sip and starts crunching on the ice. And I'm just like, oh.
Oh, the worst dad in America? Yeah, him.
Yes.
What are you about to say, JoJo?
Yeah, JoJo.
Sorry.
I was just going to say with the glass and the cup, what I also liked was they made it look like it was going to be the dad. Then it looked like it could be like the other dad. Then it looked like it could be her brother. So then it started to turn into like, okay, so who has the glass in their cup? So I like that as well, because the whole time I'm thinking it's the dad. So I like that they kept you guessing until the end.
Yeah,
I feel like
game of Russian roulette.
I feel like going to the theater, because the movies have been banging the last couple of weeks and stuff like that. And every time I went to the movie theater, they would play that trailer, so that entire sequence was like burned into my head, and I knew it was gonna
that
add some
too.
little bit of stuff to it.
Mm-hmm.
But like the whole thing about Darlene realizing that there was a fucking
rake
up under the thing, and not realizing that that's the same rake that actually knocked over and everything else. So it's like,
It
so it
still
just like
caused the death.
right. So I feel like that. I feel like it still got the person that you thought was gonna get, but at the same time, the first teaser trailer with the tattoo shop, because everybody was looking at, I thought that his ass was gone. Like, so when he actually showed up, I was like, wait a minute,
I was
what?
confused a second. I thought there was time traveling or something. So wait a minute.
Yeah, I definitely thought he was gone.
Right. And then you see in the trailer for the trailer we just get to talk about him walking into the street and a trash can hitting him. You thinking like, oh, and so he gets pulled back. You like, wait a minute. So I said it's not gonna be him. I said it's not gonna be him. I was like, it's not gonna be him. Cause they keep playing with us. And but yeah, I feel like that's one of the reasons why I kind of like the movie, because it kept us on our feet. You think you went in expecting who was going to go in the manner they were going to go, and I like that about it. But yeah,
I feel like they should have did something when they found out who his father was. I think they should have played that into the story too. It was literally like, your father is this person. Oh, whatever, and you never heard about it again.
Yeah,
I feel
that was
like
a
that
good
would have
setup
been
for a
great.
twist.
It was a good setup to bring that in, to figure out kind of where his father is in whatever situation he's in, to see where he would when he would actually die, but they never went there with it.
yeah, and I feel like that plot twist also made you think that, okay, so when the MRI room thing happened, you were just for sure that Bobby was going to be the one to
Just
get
the
stuck
one
to the MRI.
person.
Yeah, just the one person. So when it took him out, I was like, oh, everybody gonna get this shit.
Death says, stop playing with me. I
Right.
told y'all, don't get in my way.
Yeah. So was that was that the only reason he died, is because he tried to manipulate that situation?
Possibly.
He said only I can kill people.
He probably got caught in the cross.
He's trying to take my job.
Yeah, and Death was probably like, yo, bitch, hold up. You see, I spared your ass.
You're not even
Tony
in
Todd's
this.
character, like in the first movies, like he says that you can't get in Death's way because it's gonna, it's gonna fuck with you, and he's been trying to intervene a lot, so he got.
Come on, call
But I also feel like that applies to a lot of other characters of course, this is a new movie, so things that they didn't think about before, you can think about now. But I feel like there's also been other ways of people getting in the way, but it didn't turn out that way. But I guess it wouldn't. If you're trying to think of a new story as well, you still have to bring fresh things to the table. Of course, with any movie, the continuity sometimes doesn't work out, or work in the same way. So I still see how it could still be that way. But I was just wondering, I'm like, I just feel like they should have they had more story there.
Death is a jealous bitch. That's what it is.
It's messy.
Jealous. Petty as hell.
But I hate how they kept calling it him. They were like, he's coming.
I
he's
hated
here.
that so
I
much.
did too. I did
was
too.
like, why y'all keep calling
He's
it
there.
he?
Yeah,
Just say
why like
it
just
or
it.
something.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's yes. That brings us to the next point. What worked in this? And we're going to jump around, fellas. So if you didn't get a chance to answer that question, I'll call you for the next one. So love you, mean it. What do we think did work for this movie? And because I can tell you this, when we walked out of the movie theater, it felt refreshing. It felt like we saw something new and enjoyable. The crowd that we were with was engaged. And that viewing experience was very pleasurable. I screamed, I cringed, all the things was happening in the theater. So it was a good experience. So what worked for this movie for y'all? And JoJo.
Oh, skip me on this.
Okay, got you.
I like that we focused on a family instead of strangers. I like that aspect of it. It increased the stakes. I felt
that might have been the best part.
I felt like it mattered more when people died, even though I didn't really buy some of the family members when they were grieving and stuff. But other than that, I like the family aspect of it. Because to me, I don't care that much about strangers that in the other movies. To me, it just doesn't hit as much as it did with the family members in this one.
Okay. Bobby.
I agree with Mike. The family. It's just that I'm about to go more towards where it didn't work. But
Yeah, I was fine.
yes, sorry. But yeah, the family was cool. It was different, and I wasn't expecting like when we got the premonition in the beginning, and then when we seen that it was Stephanie. I was like, oh, okay, so it's not this woman or whatever. So how they going to go about this? And then they went through the bloodline. I mean, not the bloodline, but the the family tree and stuff. So I said, okay, this is pretty cool. I like that aspect. I just wish that it was executed a little bit better as far as me caring for the characters, like what Mike was saying a little bit. Because I wanted to care, especially with the mother coming. I was like, okay, they made it seem like she was going to be somebody that we were familiar with. And then when it was revealed, I don't know this hoe, but here we go. Let's start. And yeah, and then when her death came, I just was like, nah.
Yeah.
But the deaths were good too. That was one of the things too that I was worried about because the last couple movies, I like the deaths was like I didn't really care. And this one, like you said, Tima, I was at like the edge of my seat. The crowd was reacting. They were engaged. The suspense was really good. Like I was just like, oh my gosh, like my knee was shaking. I was just like, what the fuck is happening? So yeah, those are two things: the family for me, and then like the deaths actually work because that all could have went horribly.
Okay. Car. What worked for you?
I think what worked for me, I'm gonna agree with you all. I think taking the family direction was a unique idea. What worked for me was the concept of the bloodlines thing. But I think that's where it stops. The just the concept of it.
Yes. Thank you.
The tower collapse worked for me also as an interesting setup because I feel like the Final Destination franchise has kind of put us in where we're expecting. I mean, granted, it is a disaster. I feel like we're always expecting like a disaster in the sense of like a freak accident, a crash or something, but like a building collapse just seemed pretty unique or whatever. So I think that works for me. And what worked for me was the little nugget that we got of Bloodworth's background. But that but I think that's where it might end for me.
Okay. I want to add his monologue too. I thought that was brilliant. It was written well versus other parts of this movie, and his delivery was just impeccable.
He knew.
A lot of people did,
and he said
it was very
he wanted this to
accepting.
be immortalized.
He was.
in this movie.
So I'm hearing y'all were touched by the movie. That's what I'm hearing.
By his
You were
performance.
touched by Tony
By that part.
In the movie.
By his last three sentences.
Yes. And so now the next part is what didn't work. So the movie is called Bloodline, but we have no clear explanation about what that actually means versus a family that we don't even know or care about who dies. They're all cannon fodder. The best part of the Iris should have actually been the lead of this movie. Unfortunately, she was not. I think it was a lot of missed opportunities. I rewatched the opening again because I missed it. I rewatched the opening, and there was a scene where Iris' fiance, soon-to-be fiance, was trying to get them into the restaurant, and he said, "No, we can't seat you up here." And then he called someone else's name, right? He's like, "Come on, Mr. Grant," or whatever it was. I was like, that was an easy opportunity to put one of the survivors' last name in that spot to tie in that they were part of this bloodline that is supposed to be getting chased by death. And so they missed a lot of opportunities to link the bloodlines, even in that little map that she had in that Bible. There was no name.
Are you saying that his last name should have been somebody like that we already know from a previous
Alex's last name?
Oh, okay.
For an example, like that's what I mean. Thank you for asking. Like Alex's last name, just to show that small continuity that another family member in this blood. The whole purpose is that death is chasing these bloodlines, but you don't mention any of the other bloodlines besides this one. And other people have been dying for 5 other movies. So it was a missed opportunity. They had the Bible. They had the news clipping articles. They don't show any of the other survivors or talk about them besides the quick line about Clear. A missed opportunity. How is this bloodline? And you're not talking about bloodlines. So that's my grief with this, among some other things with the lead.
Okay.
Mark, what are some things for you that did not work? And then JoJo, you come on, Notebook, you're next.
No, like I said, the CGI was the only thing that didn't work for me. I
Okay.
felt that it was I'm just gonna leave it alone. I'm gonna say for my podcast episode.
Say less. JoJo.
One thing I'll say was that the pacing was very rushed.
Yes.
There was, like kill after kill, and I just didn't care about these characters enough. I really did not care about them enough. Like, if literally from the get-go, she wakes up, she's like, I'm having dream visions about my grandmother. The girl's like, you should go home and ask about your grandma. She goes,
Right?
and it was just like the pacing just so weird and choppy. It's like, the dialogue it was too fast. Anyways, now there were moments of like that heartfeltness, like between like the brothers, or maybe there was a moment between Stephanie and her mother. But it just didn't do anything for me because, again, like, we didn't spend enough time with these people that I just didn't care. I cared a little bit about the brothers, and only because they just had a little heartfelt moment, and it was just really sweet to see a brother bond like that. But when they died, I was not torn up about it. I was getting there, but we needed more time with them. So for me, the whole pacing altogether was just so off that every kill happened, and I was like, even when their mother died, she died in like a half a second, and then we just moved on. And also, when their family members were dying, I feel like no one gave a shit. Everyone was just like,
I agree,
well,
fastest funerals I've seen ever.
Yeah, and the funeral, and then there's another funeral, and then it's like Stephanie's just sitting on the kitchen table, like she's just out of her luck, like home. It's like no one,
as the daughter go for her jog.
I mean, yeah, and she came in here and literally, that poor aunt, she lost her husband and all her kids. I know she went to like an insane asylum after that. Poor thing. But anyways, yeah, overall pacing for me.
Okay, I think all those are valid points. Steph, what didn't work for you?
Yeah, what didn't work for me is that even though I love the bond and how I liked Iris and her soon-to-be husband, her fiance, they spent too much time on that, and therefore it took time out of building the bonds between the family. I was feeling for the dad at first a little bit, like he cares about his family, he cares about given his sister who's the mom, right, trying to give her a chance. Like that to me was kind of cool, and it could have went somewhere, but that was like nope. I think between between Stephanie and her brother, you saw that bond building at, was it the first or the second funeral? I believe the first one, where she, she had to even think within herself, like, am I like mom because she left, like that kind of thing. But yeah, there just wasn't enough time because they spend a lot of the time for getting you comfortable with Iris and everything. I really liked how they played Iris in like her old age.
Yeah.
She had death down. Like at least she thought she did. But the plan was for Stephanie to go there and fuck shit up. All it took was a crack in the door.
Yep.
So yeah, that's what I think kind of messed it up for me. The CGI really didn't bother me too much just because I know I've seen worse, and you were right next to me. You saw I was engaged and entertained.
Dang, you said something about Iris.
Also, the ending death.
Interesting. Go ahead. I was just thinking about what you said.
Yeah, the final death at that very end. It was like, oh, it's over, and I forgot what she said. Like it's like they almost celebrated for like a second, and then it was like, nope, boom.
Yeah.
It was a little, not that it was lackluster, but it just was, I don't know, anticlimactic after it all happened, and then it was just like, really?
Bam bam. And then And the CGI did not look good at that
It was
part either. But I
awful.
think that was like fan service.
Mm-mm.
Fan
I'll
service
actually
didn't
agree
go
with
off.
you on that. Yeah, I'll agree with you on that for sure.
You know what I thought was interesting? How they played with Iris. You know the requel sort of formula where you bring back the original star and they look old and withered. No shade, Lori or Sally, but
Definitely try to go Lori Strode with that.
They come back looking old and withered. They do a really good job at sort of making her like like a requel. Like she's been the lead this whole time, but you know she's been hiding away. And I thought that was really cool how they did that. So I'll give it his flowers for making her sort of stand out, even though she died too soon.
That just her whole setup didn't make sense to me though. It's like she's living like in a torture chamber, and she thinks that's gonna keep her safe.
Yeah, she had a weapon around
and
every
then,
corner.
I haven't left my house in 20 years. Who the hell set up your house then? Like, who did all that?
Tony Todd. JB did. JB helped. JB helped her.
Well,
I mean, hey, it worked. It worked.
Where's his kill house?
So why did she
you
have to
got
stay
a fire
inside?
extinguisher? If you know in your book you have a fire extinguisher there
I
that's
think
supposed to
so.
cause the death.
My thought
But I
process
guess she knew
was
she was supposed to go through all that.
No?
My thought process was if she has enough dangerous things around her, she can plan around what's going to happen versus if she just thinks she's in a safe space and it could just be anything random popping in without her knowing about it.
I'll give you that. That actually sounds very plausible.
Yeah. But I was looking at it like it was crazy because it didn't make sense when I first saw the house.
I hated.
And how come Bloodworth didn't? Why was
where's like maybe he has his own. If the writers are smart, they'll say that he has his own death house somewhere.
We're going to talk about that because I think his storyline has a potential. But let's see what everybody else has been saying. This felt like he was saying goodbye to all his fans for the last time. Hashtag
absolutely was.
Yeah.
JB had the key to solve the puzzle since movie 3 after Kimberly. He let them die because he knew they all had to die before death. He said, "Fuck y'all for real."
He basically did.
If Final Destination Bloodlines proves anything, it's that Richard Harmon deserves to be a bigger name in horror. He's the best part of the movie for sure, and reminds of his incredible turns in Grave Encounters 2 and The 100. More of him on the big screen. What you think about that, Bobby?
Oh, I zoned out.
Oh, okay, well,
I actually hated his character.
He wasn't. I didn't care for him too much.
I didn't. His personality was.
He was a comedic relief, in my opinion.
He was, and usually I like the comedic relief. But I still didn't like him, even when we were following him at the hospital when he was with Bobby, trying to like come up with the plan.
Even when he had good intentions.
Yeah,
he reminded me of Ian McKinley from 3.
Same.
Similar, yeah, for sure.
My favorite character from every Final Destination movie in honor of the release. Okay, yeah, Alex. Don't remember that one. Wendy, obviously, the guy from 4.
Todd?
Yeah. Todd. Okay.
What? Okay, I guess.
Come on, black boy. I haven't seen you since Friday the 13th.
Right.
All right. The perfect quadrilogy does exist.
Quadrilogy.
I think 5. I think 5 goes in front of Final Destination. I think it goes 5, Final Destination, Final Destination 2, then 3.
Well, yeah, for it to make sense.
Yeah.
Don't matter which Final Destination movie you think is the best, so long as we can all agree that the 4th one is the worst in the franchise.
I mean, look at his vision.
Yeah,
ever since someone pointed out that he was modeling in that joint, I can't unsee it.
It's giving Raven.
They said everyone else was too busy being freaked out. He was too busy serving face.
Can we?
I am about to go ahead and dip out, though, guys. Thanks for having me on the call. I don't want to interrupt you all. I'm gonna bounce out. Please enjoy the rest of the call, and I'm gonna talk to y'all soon.
See ya.
See ya.
See you, buddy.
Can we please talk about how the franchise set up Kimberly from the second movie to carry on Tony's role within the universe? Like, I'm sure she's gonna be the next person people to go to for answers.
But she died.
She's alive.
How is she alive?
She's the only one who's alive.
Because she technically
was at the
died, but
barbecue.
was brought back.
I feel like they would have to do something good with her character, though. Like
she died off screen.
See,
They said in
the
an interview today that she and
technically
the
she did
cop
die.
were the only people who did not die canonically in the franchise because the death off screen is not canon. Because I know what you're talking about.
Because of the other movie.
There's deleted scene in Final Destination 3 where a newspaper clipping shows that she and the cop met at a
You're
at
right.
a
But
wood
they said
chipper
in the
place.
movie that
The
she's
wood
the
chipper
only
accident?
they'd only survive.
But they said in the movie that she was the only her and
the other guy,
the
yeah.
cop were the only two to survive. The director said that Mike mentioned that earlier.
Mm-hmm.
The director said that they survived it.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
So they okay, sure.
If anyone was wondering what happened to this little shit,
Please.
Oh, so happy when I saw that? I said yes.
mm-hmm.
Oh, piece
He
of
choked on a
shit.
penny.
It's a shame that Final Destination Bloodlines cut the death scene at the revolving door. It would be the one that would cause the most daily trauma to the population.
I did see that tweet.
Yeah, they said in the trailer, and that was the mom.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
cut that completely. Okay,
another.
Maybe they were trying to throw you off.
You're right.
I thought this was actually a fake out from what I understood, but oh well, it got chopped. In a perfect world, Final Destination Bloodlines should have ended with Charlie having the premonition of prom disaster. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh, high five to that one.
I co-sign. I
Past the lead.
co-sign with it. That's another thing that I say didn't work. That ending was so over the top and unnecessary. It was like,
Yes.
Yes. That took me out the movie because I knew at that time I was like, okay, they're both gonna die. They're gonna just sit there and prolong it with the logs and shit. And so yeah, that would have been a great setup for another movie or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it almost felt like they just couldn't think of anything else, and they just like just throw a whole bunch of shit at them. That's just it's just weird.
Or maybe that's why they changed the ending and probably the mom's death because they probably did a test audience screening and they changed something up. That was so unnecessary.
Yeah, it actually got good test ratings, the first one.
I liked Charlie a lot.
Let's see, last one, I believe. Yes. Oh, yeah, that is the last one. So the closes out for the night. We know the ending of this movie was Tony Todd packing up his shit and saying, I'm out of here. Okay. And so if Stephanie's bloodline is dead, if Ira's bloodline is dead, that means that Tony Todd's bloodline should still be alive. Hypothetically, let's say that he had a family. Who we want to see as the lead and maybe even surrounding cast members for the Final Destination 7. King Michael has provided us with his. Michael, please explain.
Yes, so I didn't realize he's had to be his offspring and descendants, but
look at Stephanie.
So I chose Simu because that's Bay, and I need to see him in more stuff, and I think he's fun. Odessa from Hellraiser, she's really interesting. I think the Blue Power Ranger RJ, he can play Panic really well.
You stole my answer. Love it.
TJ Wallace.
I got Maya from Pretty Little Liars, Original Sin. I think she's good, and I need to see her in more stuff. Zolo from Blue Beetle and Cobra Kai.
Yes.
Megan from It Lives Inside. In my head, she's the lead because I've seen her in horror, and I think she does really good as a final girl and fighting and shit. Lovey from Craft Legacy, Greenleaf, and Forever. Hopefully, this character will be likable. And Brian Dunkelman from American Idol because we miss him.
What a random choice.
Horrible.
All right, fellas. CJ, the Blue Ranger was a really good choice, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
That was a really good one because he does have some range, and he was in Scream season 3.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only thing.
Twins, right?
And what?
Didn't he play like twins or something? In there?
Yeah, he was twins. Yeah.
Can I just say the thing I didn't? I think we need to do away with this order of death shit because it's too predictable at this point. If you're on the same list, it don't matter who's in what order. If you're all gonna die, it's just gonna happen. And I think that kind of took me out of it. And also, I don't like when people are safe in any of these fucking movies. So to have the aunt and the father just be off limits, like I agree with what Orlando was saying. They should have tied that in and maybe They just didn't know that they were related to somebody else that was in the Skyview shit.
Mm-hmm.
And they ended up dying anyway.
I agree with that. The more death, the better, honestly. But like we always rooting for that father to be killed, Stephanie's father to be murdered. We wanted him murdered real bad. Yeah.
Can I also say how much I hated when Stephanie was trying to figure out all like what was going on with her grandmother, and she went through the troubles to get the newspaper clippings, and then when she finally get to see her grandmother, she didn't want to believe her after when she was trying to tell her. I hated that. I'm like, you did all of this, and then you didn't want to believe her, and then that's what made her come out and say seeing is believing. I hated that whole situation.
All of it.
You were searching for answers. Anything yet?
You were searching for answers. Your family saying she's crazy, and you got them, and you sitting there didn't want to believe them, but now all of a sudden you see it for yourself, and you're like, you know what? I don't want to hear this, and then I don't know. I didn't like it.
It's so
it's answering your questions. It's answering your questions.
They needed a way to get her out the door.
Yeah, and I think
why.
I think what they should have did with it was have her leave and have Iris just stay there. And then, like, towards the end of the movie, they all try to reach back to Iris's house. And that way Iris could still come into play instead of just killing her off. But I guess they had to find a way to get the mom to come back. But I'm thinking, like, you didn't need her to come back. You could have just easily been like...
Not have her.
Well, no, you could have easily had her come for her brother's funeral.
Oh, yeah.
Because that would have... Not saying this scene is believing, though, but have Iris stay there, have Steffi go back and just be there because she's on academic probation, so she's not at a rush to go back to school. They've had the barbecue. The first death happens there. Then she's like, okay, grandma might have had something going there, and they just let it build from there instead of like knocking Iris off at first. So she could have been contacted through a cell phone or some shit like that.
And nothing would have happened.
Yeah, because no one would have ever died if she didn't die first.
That's why the out of order thing would work. If she
that's
realizes,
what I'm saying.
Oh, me being alive ain't going to save them, then she would leave the house to go help everybody.
Yeah.
But I'd but like Mike said, I feel like that will keep when you have. That's one of the things about the entire franchise I really didn't care for. When like saying we're going to go to. This person was next, so we got to go find out, make sure they're okay. Because, like Mike said, it kind of takes out the suspense.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing like the first Final Destination when they didn't have all of that. It was just like I know something weird going on, and then when what's her name? I want to say Amanda. When she walks into that damn bus and gets hit by that bus.
Oof.
The best one of, if not the top 3 best kills in the entire movie, because you were not expecting that.
Expecting it,
yeah.
And when you have stuff like that, then it keeps everybody on their toes to be like, who is going to go next? I feel like whatever the next movie they need to do, they need to get rid of all of that and be like, for instance, all of them, instead of having like a big premonition scene, just have everybody be in a crash or something like that. Everybody just goes all at once. You know what I'm saying? And then when they come out of it, they can be like, well, in my premonition, all of them died at the same time. You know what I'm saying? We all died at the same time. We don't know what happened, or an explosion or something like that. Something like that. But I don't
know. The guy who plays Carlton Banks on Bel-Air, I would pick him to, or even Will, but I would pick him for sure. Oh, maybe Jazz. One of them boys from Bel-Air, I would pick to sort of be a new final, because we had one other final boy, the guy from part 4
and 5.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Any other celebrities that you think would be cool to see in this?
I personally don't want to see this celebrity. I like the whole
like fresh faces.
Yeah, fresh faces, unknowns, because you have a celebrity in there that you kind of know they're gonna probably like milk as much, unless they play it right and they actually kill the celebrity.
Yeah, that's happened in the past.
The actor that plays Andy from Alien Romulus.
And Carrie Ward she played Billy on Days of Our Lives and some other things. The Glass. No, that was her son, whatever it was. The dentist. I don't know, one of them.
Or maybe
yeah,
a woman from Hunger Games. Amanda Stenberg.
I like her. Whatever that black girl was from Bloody Mary, American Horror Stories, she has an Oscar. I can't remember her name though. She became Bloody Mary at the end. Remember?
I know you're talking about. I just can't pronounce her
I can't think
name.
of her name. Orlando, any final thoughts about Final Destination Bloodlines?
Final thoughts. So I thought for the most part it was, so I personally think it was very okay. Like very okay. I got a lot of good kills out of it. It wasn't great. Um I envisioned something a little better. But yeah, it was fine. It could have been worse. It had good things and it had bad things. I do think that the lead, she was very okay too. She wasn't anything exciting. Um, so yeah, I think all in all, it was very okay. Like I enjoyed watching it. I wouldn't say it was one of my favorites, but I am excited to see where they go from here.
Yeah.
I think the Bloodline story was kind of great, right? Like when they announce things like this, it leaves you unsure of actually like where will the story actually go? Like how will it make sense within, the context of what Final Destination is? I thought that was what they really did good.
Mm-hmm. The execution. That's all.
Yeah.
Just the execution. That's it. Any other thoughts, Kingz, about Bloodline?
Well, I actually was two thumbs up. No, I really, as far as the movie, I really liked it. I put it up there with obviously it's past 4 and 5, but yeah, it's up there for me. You made me think about who I would cast for the next one though, and I was holding and I was trying to find their name as y'all were talking. I'm glad I didn't get to speak during that. Alfred Enoch. Do you all know who he is? Alfred Enoch.
Oh, from
Wes Gibbons from.
Wes.
How to
Murder. Yeah.
Yeah. That's good. And it's funny that you said, because R.J. Kyler was a close second for me, just because, like you said, he has range, and I've been watching him and all this stuff forever. But you said that in Scream the TV show, you said he played twins.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't see Scream the TV show. Don't stone me. But it's funny that you said that because the way that my mind works, I will start to create a story in my head. So I titled it. I was like Final Destination Shared Fates, right? And I said I wanted the leads to be two black male twins, and something happens where I guess they weren't supposed to be born, and then they go in the adoption agency, or they go into the adoption, whatever you call it. I'm blanking right now. And then and every time they get adopted, whoever their parents are keeps intervening in their death, and they've gone through multiple ones, and then it kind of keeps going when they get older, and they kind of figure out, stuff. But I thought that would be cool.
Okay.
I love that.
Anybody else? Final thoughts?
I had a good time. I went in thinking, at the very least, give me some good deaths that I can enjoy. Like you said, it was suspenseful. I enjoyed the family aspect. I liked the lead, Stephanie. I liked the little dynamic she had with her mother. I liked her reaction when finding out her mother died. I thought that was cool, just because family shit hits me more than like random people. And yeah, it was a fun time. It's a theater, and it's the first time I've seen one in the theater since like part 2, I think.
Wow.
How many years has it been since the 5th one, Michael?
14
or something like that.
Okay.
Oh wow.
It's been a minute.
Yeah. We love that. I don't have any final thoughts. I think I've said everything I needed to say about the movie. I'm interested to see if they continue to move forward in the franchise, or if it's going to go back to bed or not. Either way, it's going to be fine, regardless.
I hope they make another.
I agree. Yeah, I hope they make another because it was a good movie experience. I love the crowd reacting. The dude next to me when the little boy died with the penny, everybody clapped and cheered, and he was like, "You guys are sick." It was just funny. I was like, "Yes, we are." But yeah, it was a good experience. Even though I didn't like a lot of things about it, it was fun watching it with a crowd, and it's a Final Destination. Like I'm going to see a Final Destination movie regardless how bad it is. So,
Speaking of penny, Timon, do you have the penny I gave you after the movie?
Yeah, guys. After the movie, Michael tried to kill me, and he threw a penny out of his car at me. One moment. Oh, yep. I kept it just for this shit.
I wanted to see if it worked.
So you admitted you want me to die?
That damn penny.
They gave away the screen. I want to say they gave away little pennies. It was.
I think I saw a picture. It might have been from you, but I think I saw that. That was cute. I didn't get anything like that.
My best friend was just like, "I don't want to take that. You bringing in demons into." I'm like, "Shut up."
The penny.
I'm gonna post it right here.
Like it's Annabelle.
Right.
Guys, Orlando, thank you so much for coming to hang out with us. It's been a long time coming. We've been chatting forever to make this episode.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate
it. Absolutely. You said some really challenging things tonight, and we love you. We love you for that.
Well, you put me on the spot. Look, I had a long day. I didn't think I was going to make it.
Well, we're appreciative and we enjoyed you. And so you're welcome anytime on the Scream King stage.
Thank you.
To my Kings, thank you so much for your time. It's been a long night, but we had fun. We all up here. I'm tired as hell. So we're about to get out. We're about to get out of here. I really appreciate you. You know that. Everyone watching, thank you for hanging out with us in the comments. We have Alex. Oh, God, I gotta scroll. We have Alex. We have Keyfix95. I'm sorry if I messed that up. And we have other people. So random. Thank you so much for coming and hang out with us. We will be back next week to talk about Prom Queen that comes out this Friday. So be prepared. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be messy, and it's a slasher. So you know we always love it. Maybe we'll get a new Final Girl like we did this time, or we didn't actually. Again, thank you for coming and watching us, and subscribe, like, share, and we will scream y'all later.